Hello, and welcome to Rules of Attrition here on Character Builder Radio. We are about to start session 9 of our Heart Scrabble campaign, but before we get to the sadness, let's go around the screen and introduce ourselves a little bit, starting with Mac.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mackenzie. I play the character Judge Abel Smith. Please join me as I try to bring a little law and order to this backwards frontier.
Next, Brian.
It sounded like you said Brian. That's okay. It's
Brian.
Okay,
Brian.
I'm Ryan. I play Barman Horn, an old dwarf who's only good for bellyaches and tears.
Oh, Angie.
My name is Angie, also known as Pantix. I play Anu Meadowsword. She's a war priestess of the White Gauntlet. She's trying her best and expecting the worst.
Ben.
My name is Ben, and I play Folker. He's just a woodsman trying to keep these poor sons of bitches alive.
And I'm Emma. I play Hanoa Sumner, just some weird farm girl who's tagging along with this group. Also, she might be a witch or a warlock or something. I don't know. So, the last I remember, we were trying to find our way around to this camp to free some slaves by going through an extra entrance to the mine. We just fought some, crazy blue things. The Zvarts sounds like farts. But anyway, we're about to go and explore this scary mine, so take us away, DM Matt.
All right. Well, if you go ahead, you can place your characters where you were. If you remember that you were deep in this, just entered into the mine system. The air here was cool. There were breezes coming up. If you remember that, look down, that this was a large stairway down. The air is flowing and kind of giving a wind or howl is constantly coming from the stairs. The stairs themselves are really, really old wood. They look unused. They look old. The floors are kind of smooth and dirt covered. The darkness here is extremely still. The hallway itself appears to be like it's made out of chiseled stone, with only the kind of chiseled stone from the precision of dwarves. And like I said, there's a steady howl of the wind. And the only light source, I believe, what we had is that was Anu. Were you carrying a lantern?
Yes.
Okay. So it's you don't quite get all the way. The light kind of goes down to filters to where it goes onto the staircase itself, but those kind of descend into gloominess. The darkness here is pretty oppressive, and it's a pretty still place, with the exception of the wind kind of howling coming up through that opening, through the opening of the stairs. It's like a light railing that kind of borders around the inside. Just for game purposes, each square here is 5 feet, just in case that was pretty obvious. But so go ahead, whatever you guys want to do.
Is there an actual door here?
That was just a doorway.
Okay.
There was not a door that was there. It was a door frame, so it probably at some point could have may have just gone missing. But it was a door frame. There just wasn't a door in it.
A crazy question. Should we? What if we stay? I don't know. I don't really want to go down here, but I doubt you'll listen to me.
You just want to go, trouncing into that camp back there, then?
No.
Then I think we have to go this way.
We want to drag all the Zvarts inside or roll them down that hill.
I think we rolled them down the hill already.
Did we roll them down the hill? Okay, I did not.
After we looted them.
We did the cheese rolling equivalent, but with the Zvarts.
And we didn't follow them.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk ahead and peer around the corner of this, what appears to be a stairs going down.
With the light source, this extra room, this small alcove off to your side, is full of stuff, but with the light source being back where Anu is at,
everyone sees Folker move with a confidence in his step, almost as though he sees really well, because as of hitting level 3, he now has dark vision.
Have you hit level 3 yet?
That was the end
We
of the
haven't-
last session.
We haven't rested.
We have not
Haven't-
taken long rest.
Haven't rested yet.
Oh my god! I thought we said we were resting at the end of the last session inside of this room. Didn't we say that? Was
Did
that
we?
not said? Yeah, we said we were gonna. That was like you were talking about. I need a rest, and we were like, well, we'll get 8 hours of rest right inside of the doorway.
Oh, I don't
No,
remember
I
that.
don't think
I
so.
think there was some out of game discussion, but I don't think it was.
Yeah,
Alright.
as far as I know, you hadn't rested yet.
Well, tell you what, guys, I'm bumbling into the corner apparently.
With confidence.
I'm walking forward confidently, and I just run right into a wall.
This is open air right here. Correct?
That is open air. That is a
And
railing
down.
and straight down. It's just
Okay.
darkness.
So I stopped Volker from falling to his death.
I was about to say, yeah. I apparently can't see anything. here.
Just leaning over like it just blows your hair back. But that's where the wind's coming from. The wind's coming just straight up that shaft.
Yes. Speaking of chefs, if you'd like, I could make way downstairs a little bit with a little bit better vision. But I don't want to go too far ahead without anybody with me.
As you come around into that alcove, barman, within there are piles of you notice piles of rotten and broken buckets and barrels, piles of dry rotted ropes. There's a number of just broken lanterns, and then there's a large, kind of in this in the corner, there's a large greasy stain of where some old spilled oil had gone, just kind of like it's old and dirt.
Do we want to light this shit?
Why don't we search it first? What are the ceilings like in here? Is this carved out of stone? Is
Yeah,
this...
it's carved out of stone. Every now and then there are some timber braces, but it looks like it is carved out of pretty good stone. And
How's the height?
it's about 10.
Okay, so I feel pretty comfortable that I could wield a halberd in here
Yes,
right now. Okay.
yes. At the current place, it's about 10 feet ceilings.
Okay.
10 foot.
We could pile some of this debris up over this opening here. Just make it look like there's nothing back behind us here. To make it look like the Zavarts or whatever hadn't even lived any further in. So if anyone stumbled across it, they might not investigate further.
That sounds like a great
Sure.
idea.
Idea.
Yes. Let's do that. Let's make that our purpose right now.
We
Okay.
do that.
Gathering this stuff, it's pretty easy just to gather it all up. Like, so most of it's just kind of rotted, and the rope all dry rotted. It makes quite a bit of noise for this area, even with the wind howling, because they realize there's just no other sound at all. It's just deathly quiet. But it's one of those kind of weird things that whenever you do make sound, like it kind of stops. Like it feels like the sound doesn't carry. Maybe that's the wind dampening it. But it's loud, but it seems like it's contained. You don't hear like echoes of sound everywhere.
Like the wind kind of muffles it or something?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, like it's contained within this area, and it's sound dampening within here. It's a weird oppressiveness.
Mm.
And the darkness feels like still as well. It doesn't feel like when you're outside in the darkness in the wilderness, and this feels like a real stillness to it. But yeah, you can manage.
The air's blowing.
Do what?
It's still, but the air is really blowing. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
okay. So we start piling all this stuff up.
Okay.
Probably need to leave an area for the wind to blow through, but
You manage to pile up a lot of it, and it gets to about 3 feet, so a little bit over waist high. You manage to kind of just shove this stuff and look like that it's, just been all piled there and nobody's come through.
perfect.
Well, we think it looks that way from this side.
From this side.
We can't see how it looks from the other side.
So do we want to
Who's
try to
holding
take
the-
a rest here then?
Who's holding the torch, or did we find
On
a
you.
sconce?
I've got the lantern.
We have a
Okay.
lantern.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. That's right. It's a lantern. So we're burning through the oil right now.
Yeah, we have a lot of it though.
Yeah, but do we want to just sit up here and burn through a resource? I mean, it's one thing when I'll get my accent here. I mean, it's one thing when the doors open, we got fresh air and light coming in, but now we've all plugged that up. Do we want to just sit here in the stank and burn up our limited resource? That doesn't make very much sense.
I do believe there's an ancient there's an ancient proverb in Oman City from a philosopher by the name of Naphtha, who used to say he would not have given it to us if we weren't going to need it. I don't know exactly what it means.
Who is this he?
I don't know. It's very existential. It's talking about
That's-
inward beliefs and whatever.
I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He would not.
He, the
Okay.
royal. I mean, we're not talking about the
The
Reaver.
royal he?
Mm-hmm.
Like the king? Is there a king?
There's not the no, not the. Oh, okay, so here's the deal. We're in danger. What do we?
I want to check out the stairs.
I will keep an eye there
See
too.
how rickety they look. Can I investigate them?
Sure.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. Going to the stairs, they are wood. You put a tentative foot down on one and test just to make sure. It creaks, but it feels really solid, as if it just like, but it doesn't give. It's not like it doesn't appear to be dry rotted. It doesn't appear to be in any way like dangerous. The foot gives a good solid feel to it, and checking the rail's pretty good, pretty solid as well.
Looking at this, these stairs, like looking at this on the scale of like stairs to ladder in a hole, like how dangerous does it look?
The stairs don't appear to be well, at least Abel's let you know that the stairs appear to be solid.
Okay, so we will die. Okay, I got you.
So do we physically, Matt, do we feel like we need a break? I don't know what time it was when we got into the cave system.
I think we
No.
had half day. I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. You guys have, I mean, your blood is kind of up and running because you guys had finished a pretty good little scrap maybe about 40 minutes ago.
Okay. So without metagame knowledge, we're like, woo, keep going. We're not tired.
No, you're
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
You're not.
There's
tired.
no reason. There's no reason to stop here at the entrance. So
Why is that not
Yeah,
the
we
voice you
went right
always
there,
use, Hanoa? That was great.
Oh, like this? Just the whole time. Ho ho! I'm Hanoa.
please tell me you're wearing red overalls.
Yeah, suddenly.
All right. Well, I mean, unless
Let's
someone wants
go.
to kick a rock off the edge, we should probably.
Whoa, buddy, whoa. Oh wait, never mind. Rock is a term that a lot of people use for doors. I thought that you were getting a little racist
No.
there
Is
real
that-
quick.
No.
Oh.
Now, I might want you to go first, Master Dwarf, but I would assume on the stairs,
okay.
not just falling down the center.
Watch my ass, Judge. Like literally, look at it. It looks good right now. It's like 2 little apples in a bag.
I'm afraid.
Two.
I'm afraid with the armored one holding the torch so far away, I can't seem to see your backside.
Oh, that's a lie.
I move it closer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're going to descend the stairs, what's a marching order that you would do that in?
I would really prefer not to be the very first one, but
You're the only one that can see here, so it's either we announce our presence by putting light forward and everyone can see us, or you go on ahead and be eyes.
If it'll
closed.
make you feel better, Barman, I'll walk directly behind you.
If
Or I'll walk
Andy-
at the
Andy
back
and
of
I
the
could
group.
lead, you know.
Judge, I would say that you could immediately follow Barman. I could more stay in the central and make sure that we've got our light kind of dispersed amongst us, but also hidden from anyone who might already be looking for it.
That works.
yes, I will do that then. I will move forward, but I've got one hand like a scared child, like grabbing onto the judge behind me. And
I
I
will
We
probably,
follow
want to
the judge.
concentrate our weight right on the same set of stairs there.
I probably have like a
No,
little bit
there's
of
no sharing stair.
No. I'll stay one down. Well, so if I'm one down, I'm probably not grabbing his chest. I don't know what I'm grabbing at if I'm like one down. But
Hand off my halberd.
nice
It's
shaft,
a-
Your
George.
Albert or your halberd?
It's a two-hander.
All right, I will lead the way down then, seeing a little bit outside of the range of the torchlight, up to like 60 feet, whatever beyond it, whatever.
In my investigation of the stairs, is the wood set into the wall?
No.
Or is it okay?
Well,
Or
You
where are the
couldn't-
stringers?
they're probably underneath.
Can I?
See, Princess Leia has joined us.
Oh yeah, right.
Actually, that's fantastic.
It's comfy. Shut up.
Don't worry, you're our only hope.
You're fucked.
I'm trying to remember. Yes.
Well, then,
I would
Lead
like,
the way, then, Farm.
shall we?
can I get a? I'm gonna take a history check on this structure and on these stairs. She said it looked like it was dwarven architecture.
You noticed that it was dwarven as soon as you entered entered this kind of when you saw the carved, the chiseled wall. As soon as you entered the cave system, which you thought initially was just part natural rock, and then you remember you saw the chiseled wall. You can make a history check.
Okay, and this is more than usual for my history, but it works because it's stone cunning. So, all right. A
It's wood
16.
cutting.
Okay, well, 16. What specifically do you think that you were? What specifically do you think you were trying to find out about? Like, what were you looking at?
I was trying to put them into the context of old dwarven empires, maybe like figure out the time frame as to how old it was.
Okay.
Like who would have made it?
Well, you don't know much about. You don't know much or have heard of anything about the dwarves going into the Guzak Brisk. You don't really know much about that, but you do know that the dwarves covered much of this land after they had a very large empire well before the Omani Empire. They covered almost all of the downlands. If this was ever a great mine, its name escapes you, and so you're not quite sure what. You don't remember any like a great mine or anything that was ever mentioned in the Guzak Brisk, but this is 100% dwarven. There's no doubt about it, and it is of the same ilk and construction of other mines that you've seen that 100% come from all Bale Nord and all the other dwarven towns that you know of.
Okay.
This isn't anything else. This is dwarven construction that you're very familiar with. You're just not familiar with it in this land.
Okay, I will proceed forward.
Okay. So it's the barman first, Abel next, Anu in the center with the lantern, and then Hanoa, and then Folker.
Yeah, I'm in the back.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're not. How are we proceeding? We're proceeding stealthily, attempting to be stealthily, or just cautiously? Or are we just doing normal movement?
I will attempt to be stealthy, but it will be a fucking joke.
And I will be cautious. I know I'm not that stealthy in the chain.
Be
I'm gonna
cautious as
do.
well.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I'll do whatever Anya is doing because she's in front of me, so no one just would copy that.
Here, watch
Okay.
watch me roll this stealth. You ready for this?
He fell down the middle of the stairs. He's at the bottom.
There's just no way, barman, for you to consider even thinking about being stealthy. That you know that Abel behind you is making noise, and every time you take a step, it's a creak. It just the woods creaking every single step. And you've kind of given up at the point where you're realizing that nobody else is able to be stealthy at all. So just walking forward, do you have a hand on the rail to your side? Or are you on because the stairs themselves are like 10 feet wide. So they can
I would
you could be on
probably-
the side next to the wall,
Yeah.
or you could be the side next to the center.
I believe that I would probably rather have a hand on the stone in order to keep
Okay.
as far away from that falling in that hole, because I will fall in that hole. I know thyself. That's me.
Anybody else? Is everybody kind of skirting the wall, or is anybody holding their handrail in the center?
No, I'm up against the wall.
Okay.
I am
Okay.
once again doing exactly what Anya's doing, which
I'm
is
going to try to position myself kind of in the center of a stair, not
Okay.
touching the handrail, but I think it's probably better to disperse some of the weight as we go down the stairwell. And
Okay.
I'm
And I'll
not
be
exactly the
towards
lightest.
the handrail, trying to look down some as we go.
Okay. Continuing down, it's a slow go, but you manage to go for about 200 feet. It takes a little while to do that, but about 200 feet, you guys slowly kind of creep down. The first thing that is out of the ordinary that you notice is that kind of as you're going under, because you're going underneath the stairs, so you can see the ones above you. So it's just a spiral staircase down. So you can always kind of see where you've just been underneath. Looking up, you do notice that about the time you get around, after about 200 feet, you notice there's a sign that has been nailed to the bottom of the stairs, and the sign is written in, like, it's barely legible script. It looks like it's some sort of black. You're not sure if it's ink, but it's a dark ink, and it's on this faded wood. And it says, "Welcome to Black Sewers."
It's in.
Oh, that's cheery.
It's in common, but it's poorly written, as in, like, the letters. It's difficult to decipher the script, but it is common.
How old is
I
the
I don't
sign?
even want to know what this is written in.
Like, is it a newer sign, older sign?
ink?
It looks it's not real new, but it's also not really old either. It's indeterminate to tell.
Welcome to Black Sewers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, at least we know where we are.
Do we get some exploration experience? When we get to this point?
And, like, the mini map unlocks a little bit.
It's attached to the wall, you said?
It's attached to, like, the bottom side of the stairs underneath, so you're gonna have to, like, pass.
Okay,
it.
I got you.
So about 100 more feet, and Barman, you begin to see through your that there is a little bit of room up ahead.
A little bit of room.
So we've come down 300 feet of stairs. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay, so excuse this. I'm gonna try.
Woohoo!
All right, so everybody, go ahead and move yourself over.
Right, like,
Nope, I'm sorry. Yeah, back over this way. Barman, you would be. This is what you start to notice right here, actually. So we're back over this side.
What, insert me anywhere.
oh my.
Yeah, that's exactly that's what it's like.
Okay.
There you go. So what you can see, Barman, is that there's starting to reveal just a little bit that there's some sort of area.
Can I see bottom?
No.
Okay.
You can see that way, Barman. You realize that there's some sort of alcove off of.
Like an alcove off of the stairs right there?
Off of the stairs.
Okay. I'm going to spread the word and be like, kind of in a hushed voice, I'm going to say, I think that we're getting closer to the bottom. It looks like it's opening up or an alcove over here.
I'm gonna be shit at this, but I'm gonna make an attempt to try to like listen ahead of us to see if I hear anything weird.
Okay.
I think we can all stand still and let you do that.
Yeah, perception check.
It's a 1.
Um,
I rolled a 2 minus 1.
you're just
You guys smell that?
you can't get anything over the fact that there's the wind that's coming up through here and your own teeth kind of chattering, and everybody's just not through
Hear that
cold, but just
clattering?
kind of like a nervousness and a little bit of nerves.
It's like a lot of clattering noises.
Yeah. Do you heard that? It sounds like a bunch of scared ass people. and the brave
Oh.
fucking dwarf.
Oh, barman, continue.
Continue on, barman. Let's see where this goes.
Okay, Judge. I
If
will.
you can do this, barman.
I know I can do it. It's just taking some steps, but I don't mean to
I
rush
believe in you.
and meet my death.
I'm just trying to be supportive.
Did you say spartive?
Separative.
Supportive.
Separative.
Polygon reveal is a little bit strange, so I'm trying.
No, it's yeah.
Barman, if you want to get there, you probably might need to make a perception check at this point.
Oh boy! All right. I rolled a 15. Nothing slips by this guy.
So right around here, right around in this corner down here, you can see that there's something's hiding. They're behind some grayish blankets that make it look as if it's part of the wall and such. It's not a great job, but you definitely can see that there's something hiding back over there.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, I don't know. It looks like it comes down to an ending down here, and it's just empty. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm like motioning for the judge forward and like pointing like right where that thing is. I was like, I don't think that there's anything down here. Maybe we should just go back up.
So
I'll move past him.
okay, you move past him to there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with your heavy footfall step.
I mean, I assume I picked up on his hand signals.
Of course.
Okay.
The sheets are dropped.
Are they now?
And you go ahead and I'll get the initiative stuff out.
Whoa.
These more blue things?
Yes.
I think I just farted myself.
Yes. So as soon as they kind of get sight and they hear you click down here, like this kind of the grayish burlap sheet that was kind of covering the area back there was what do you call it? Drops, and they come charging out. And that would be good. Okay, so go ahead and roll initiative.
A 3.
Barman
Rolled
rolls
a 2.
14 minus 1.
That's a 9.
Well, I'm gonna have to subtract a number from this. It's a 23, but I rolled a critical. So, critical success on my initiative
Why are you subtracting a number?
because I
level 3.
leveled my character up, and I get a bonus to initiative at the next level.
I hadn't
okay.
leveled in
I'm-
R20 yet.
Reducing numbers.
Oh, so you click the gear to put it in order, right?
Yeah,
Then it just says ascending.
you want it in descending.
Oh, descending. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So yours is 3 less than that?
4 less than that.
Okay. Doesn't make any difference, really, but there you go. So, Fulker, what you see is that this these blue creatures which you saw before. If you remember, they're about 3 feet.
I don't
they've
see
got-
any of them.
Well,
With her having the lamp, the ray of her lamp, they're literally out of sight. Because it's throwing light. They'd be in darkness. It wouldn't be in dim light.
with your initiative, you would definitely hear. So what you could hear a bunch of you could hear cloth, and then all of a sudden you hear a bunch of things go yeah, and let me get.
These little bastards had a little tug closet that we didn't know about.
So
Arcade.
Yeah.
Barman, that's foul.
Well, I know about these creatures. They have tug closets. It's kind of like a immobile soap wagon.
So they would have they're moving forward, but because of your initiative, you're not surprised or anything. I'll allow you to you could still do your full action.
Okay. Yeah. So I'd hear them. I think I'd probably knock one of my quickly dwindling supply of arrows. Let's step forward, and if I can see them in light, because they would have walked forward.
Yeah, you can definitely see them, but because of the way that the staircases, they're going to have half cover firing across that way.
Aren't they down?
They are down, but you also have the top of the stairs over here, and you also have Abel in the way.
Okay.
Your area of firing through is only about 1.5 to 3 feet.
About the size of a pillar connected to a roof.
I wouldn't say half cover. I'd say they probably have some cover, so I'm going to give them a 2 to their AC. That's just
Sure.
about it.
Sure.
It's like bullseyeing Wampa rats
I
back
got
in
your
Beggar's
joke.
Canyon.
I know. It was an in-joke just for us.
Just for us.
Okay.
Woohoo!
God, this is 2 criticals so far, right?
We
Already.
won't get anything else. That's fine.
He's hacking. He's hacking.
Which one are you shooting?
Whichever one you will tell me would be the first one I saw.
The first one you see would be that one right there.
Okay. Then yeah, that's the one
Okay.
for ignore. Why does it have an extra plus 1d8?
Crit.
I'll need to look at why that is. It's just
It was
9.
a crit.
It was a
Oh,
crit.
because it's crit, of course. Right. So 15.
Okay. So it'd be easiest for me to just do that. So that one gets shot as soon as it comes around the corner. You just loose an arrow, and it hits it right in the eye, and the thing just dives and hits the ground. It falls right at Abel's feet. Never even got 5 feet past, even close to him before it went down.
I'm
Okay.
done. There's not much else I can do.
You want to do any kind of move or anything?
I did I stepped up to the edge. That's
Okay.
it.
All right, Barman.
All right. So I'm going to yell down to the one straight below the judge, down here.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say, "Hey, you little blue bastards! We buried all your relatives upstairs." I'm just kidding. We just kicked them off the side of the cliff, and I'm gonna cast vicious mockery.
Vicious.
I'm going to mock them viciously, so they will need to make a DC 12 Wisdom saving throw.
And he has -2 to his wisdom, DC 12.
Aw, these guys aren't very wise.
So they keep
So
attacking us.
15 -2 is 13, so he saves.
He saves, so yeah, he's good. And for my move, I am going to 5, 10, 15. Can I still see the judge from here?
Yes.
Okay, I will stay here.
Okay. All right. You cast your spell, and either he's in too much of a frenzy or wasn't paying attention, and just doesn't seem to affect him. And it's your turn.
Maybe he didn't like those Varts. He's happy.
I'm gonna take the lantern and kind of hand it over to Hanoa as
Okay.
grab my mace with a little bit of a smile. I'm like, you should probably have this. And then I'm going to cautiously take steps down the stairs. 1, 2, holding the wall, until I don't have the wall anymore. And I'm going to. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you can still see there because she has the light, and that's
Okay,
about
okay.
20 feet. That's about 20. It's casting some shadows with all the balusters and stuff like that. Like it looks like kind of railing some shadows, but it's good enough to see.
Okay. I'm also.
I like how cautiously, like you weren't in a hurry, you didn't run or anything. You just handed this thing, pulled out the mace, and said, "You should have this," and then you just kind of
Yeah.
walk down the stairs right into the fray.
It's just gonna be, a real subtle intimidation. Can I can't move into the crowd, can I?
No.
Okay. Damn it. 1, 2. I mean, Judge, you're just gonna have to risk it. I'm going to grab my pendant and cast a thing when I can find it. Cast Word of Radiance. And just growl Zarin.
What am I risking?
And it's of your choice, so you don't have to worry about the judge.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, that makes things much easier. So yeah, I'm aiming for this one, this one, this one.
Well, yeah, it's
and
all the ones that you can see within. So it's those
Mhm.
4.
Right.
Those are all within 5 feet that you can see.
Yes.
Okay.
So they've got to make a DC save, Constitution of 13.
All right. Constitution. Let's see. Okay. Top one. The 13 you said?
Yes.
All right. Top one fails. Bottom next 14 he saves.
Okay.
The one below you 2 fails, and then the one over there 14, so he saves.
Okay.
So we have 2 failures, so they take 1d6 each.
Correct.
All right. One takes 4, one takes 6. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Oop. What does this look like?
It's a bit of a red glow, kind of like an amber of a fire that just kind of it's subtle, but it just kind of burns with a
Does it start from within you, or does it start at your what do you call it, your holy symbol, or does it come up from the ground, or?
I would say it comes up from the ground.
Okay.
There's nothing shot out from me. It just happens to originate in those little creatures.
Got it. So just this red radiance just blows up from the ground right around you, right at your feet, and just kind of shoots up to about your eye level. And as you just say this word, and 2 of them just kind of cringe at it, and you realize that they have caught somewhat in this radiant fire. One of them looks particularly really hurt and still is kind of holding his eyes. All right.
And I'm gonna growl at him and say, "The dwarf was right. We killed your friends."
Whether they understood or not, they seem to come out with a religious fervor and some purpose, and all of them do this strange attack. And so, with all of them being around, they all attempt to shove you, and they're attempting to shove you and push you, and they're pushing you straight into Abel, and attempting to push and basically overbear both of you and throw you over the railing. So the first one, let's see, these are going to be overbearing attacks. So these are strength, so athletic checks. So the first one is going to attempt to shove you, and I have advantage. So oppose athletics checks on Anu.
An athletic check or save? Okay, athletic check. Here we go. It's a 14.
Okay, so the first one attempts to shove you and does not push you at all.
Okay.
The next one, the one that's diagonal, attempts to shove you. And go ahead and roll.
Oh, that's an 8.
Okay, this one definitely gets, with the help of his friend and stuff, he pushes you back this way,
Mhm.
shoves you back 5 feet into Abel, pushes you that way. And this one moves here, and this one moves here, and now they both attempt to shove Abel, and one of them attempts to shove Abel, one of them attempts to shove you over the railing. So this one is against you. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. I'm trying to do a thing. Action. All right, I don't have that. Not yet. 18.
Beat my 15, so it attempts to push you, but you just put a foot backwards and kind of steal yourself, and then one attempts to shove you, Abel. Go ahead and roll.
Roll a 17.
Beat my 10 and my 13. So both of these two are attempting to shove you over, and you and Anu, you're neither one of you will be able to do anything unless one of you moves out of the square. I'm just saying that y'all are occupied the same square, but you were forced to do so. So for you to actually do anything, then you would have to take a step out of the
Sure.
way.
So I have a question because I haven't used all my movement, and my turn is my turn officially over?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Okay. These two move up, and although they're brandishing short swords, these two take out a large dart. It's just this dart, and they attempt to throw it. One's going to throw it. Hanoa.
Didn't this one assist this one?
They assist with the ally. They get advantage as long as
Okay.
they're an ally within 5 feet of them.
Okay.
So that's why when they're all grouped, the top ones all get advantage as long as there's an ally within 5 feet. And so this one back here attempts to throw a dart, and it's going to throw at Hanoa. Let's see. You have a +2 to your AC because you have kind of some cover.
Okay, so I have a 13.
Okay, I rolled a 13 plus 4, so
Ow!
that dart comes across and strikes you for
Oh, Noah. You
6
just
points.
got
How
hit
many-
with a Zart dart.
A Zart dart.
Zart dart.
How
So
many hit
this
points?
6.
6.
It's a large dart. It's like it's much heavier than you'd think it would be, but it just kind of hurls that. It's like it's throwing a javelin almost, but to you it's only something about this big. And then
Only,
I felt that way before.
only that big going into my shoulder. It's fine.
and then throwing at let's see, can that make it 5, 10, 15? Oh, you're just at the very edge of that range there, Folker. So it's throwing one at you. Natural 20.
Ooh.
So let's do 8 points of damage to you as this javelin kind of also similar to your or this dart, similar to your shot, flies all the way across here and then strikes you also in the shoulder. Okay, that is Zvart's turn. Hanoa.
Ow!
Zvart stands.
Okay, well, I was gonna do something different, but I got hit. So I immediately, because I'm mad, I'm gonna. Can I see that guy that hit me?
You can. He's going to have half cover from all the different people in the way. In the way, the ones you don't have, you won't have any kind of penalties for that one or that one. But the rest of them will have at least some half cover from all the bodies in front of them.
I'd like to make an intelligence check to see if Hano would like smartly not go for the thing in half cover.
It's just more. You can see him, so it's not that he's hidden, and that is the one that threw it at you.
I'm just gonna roll to see how dumb Hanoa is. She's dumb. She's going for the thing in cover. She's dumb as freaking hell. So I'm Eldritch blasting without even doing hex or anything first. Still 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Cool. So that's 12.
Okay, So, although Hanoa is reactionary and kind of goes off the whim and doesn't really think about tactically what she did, she still sends this greenish black bolt of energy. What do you say when you fire those things?
Oh, I think it's very cool.
Every time, and sends that thing, and everybody just sees the bolt just and pretty much just wipes that one off. That one just becomes goo. You guys are getting kind of used to this.
Fuck you!
You should not say wiped that one off in the word goo this close to someone's dug closet.
And then I'm gonna put Hex on that one. So that's my last.
That's
level
that's a
slot.
bonus action.
That's my bonus action. It gives disadvantage on strength checks. Let's do that.
Okay.
That's handy.
That one becomes hexed as the darkness kind of seeps from the wall. It just kind of swirls around in black spots.
And that was something I saved for that too, which Shulamat. Yeah, that's what I saved.
Okay, so everybody hears these strange words coming from Hanoa, and one gets blown to pieces, and then the darkness coalesces around the one right next to you, Abel.
Okay. And I have to move out to do anything, correct?
You have to move to do something. Yes.
I want to move back.
Okay. Then you'll take from the guy that tried to shove you. We'll take an attack of opportunity from the one that tried to shove you. As he tries to go over, he tries to stab at you. Anu is right there, and she has her shield just out, and she just hits his wrist, and you realize that hits his wrist, and he critically fumbled, and his sword goes falling down the shaft. It goes.
Fool of a toque.
Do we hear it hit the ground?
No, because you're also in the throes of combat, and people are kind of.
Shh.
So no, you don't hear anything really.
Everybody, shut up for a second.
She...
To be fair, I would have listened.
Okay, but go ahead. It's your turn, Abel.
I'm going to try to grab this one and throw him over the railing.
Okay, so you want to make a grapple check, which is just an opposed strength check, right?
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. And
So
that's what you gave it disadvantage on, correct? No.
Yeah, she gave him disadvantage on strength. So let's do an opposed strength check for your grapple. See if you grab him.
Throw him over.
I rolled a
the
6.
railing.
Oh, that was save. I'm sorry, that's the wrong button. Strength check, 19.
The funny thing is, even with your save, you would have beat me because I rolled a disadvantage. I rolled a 5 and a 3. So you managed to grab this small creature that's blue skin with these bright orange eyes and kind of like this receding hairline. You grab it, and you want to attempt to throw it.
I'm going to just pick it up and drop it over the railing.
Okay, let's see how that might work. Well, let's see.
Maybe give him a dex check, see if he can grab the railing or
Yeah, I was gonna see, but he's also got to go through Anu, or pull him up into your square almost.
So that's what the grapple would have done, I think.
Yeah. Well, grappling means you got him, so you want to pull him into your square and then try to throw him over.
Yeah.
Okay. So you pull him.
Yeah, I grab him by his head, or whatever, pull him in and just try to drop him.
Yeah, so you grab him, and then at first you try to grab his hair, and you realize that it's just too greasy, and it just goes right through it. But you grab him back, and you realize that he's got some sort of shirt or partially leather armor, and you grab him right by the back and attempt to throw him over. Go ahead. Why don't you roll a straight up strength check.
Rolled a 12.
Okay, so that's going to be my DC. So my DC is going to be 12 for him to attempt to avoid being thrown over, and I'm going to give it. He's got +2 to Dex, so we'll just see what that happens. So I rolled a 12 +2. So you attempt to throw him over, but he puts his feet out, and he puts his feet out, and his feet hit the railing. Now, he's still grappled, so you still have him, but he's got his feet and legs locked, and it's not letting you throw him over the railing.
It's like trying to put a dog in the tub.
Yeah, or put a cat in a cat carrier. So it's just you're not able to get him over the railing, but you still have grappled and you still have control of him.
Okay.
Okay. Is that your turn?
That's my turn then.
Okay. Folker, you're back up.
Well, I take that back.
Go
So I'm
ahead.
still gonna hold him.
Yes.
I can move with him,
Yes.
so I'm gonna move us both over here to get
Got it.
away from the railing.
Actually, and if you want to, you can actually leave him there. I don't have a problem with you leaving them there and still maintaining grapple.
Okay, well that's fine then.
Because essentially you're trying to throw him over and then you just maneuver behind him, but you still have him by the back. So yeah, you're able to do that because
Okay.
you didn't leave a threatening or anything like that. So he's right there. All right, Folker.
I'm gonna rip this javelin out of my shoulder and attempt to throw it at the one down in front of Anu.
Okay. It the thing just it just dug in just a little bit to your actual flesh, but it just kind of pierced just a little bit of. You're wearing leather armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just got right into those little parts between the hard parts of the leather armor, and you just managed to pull that thing out. There's a little bit of your bloods there at the
Just the
tip of this dart, and you're gonna chunk it.
Yep, at the one just right here that would be the
Got
other
it.
one that I could see.
That one right there. There's virtually no cover for that one, so it's straight up roll.
Okay. So I'm gonna click on one of my throwing club because it would be the same. It's the same stats.
Okay.
With the dex and my ranged fighting style. So. 23 to hit.
That does hit.
And then what's the damage on that thing?
It does 1 to 4 plus 2.
1d4. Is it 1d4 plus dex bonus for me then?
Yes.
Okay. So 5 points of damage.
Okay. He takes that, and once again, it's just this thing that you happen to hit him pretty much right around the shoulder and collarbone, and that kind of sticks in there, and he's got part of that dart sticking out right here, right underneath the collarbone.
Oh wow, you did really good with that one. Do you want this one too?
If I had a second attack, I would rip that one out and throw it as well.
You got anything else? Have you got a bonus action or movement?
Nope, I don't have any bonus actions. So.
Okay, Barman.
Oh shit, it's me. All right, I'm going to. Can I see the one in front of Anu?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to 5, 10, 15. Yes. I'm gonna go. Oh, you're a big guy with all of your friends. I bet when you go to the bar by yourself, nobody likes you, and you sit there and just drink your tears and stuff. And I'll cast Dissonant Whisper, not Dissonant Whisper, Vicious Mockery again.
Okay.
So, DC 12, Wisdom save.
DC 12, Wisdom -2. Natural 20 -2. He just does not care for your insults. They just are going through.
Guys, usually I'll do better than this.
So he's not affected by what you end up saying. Or any other bonus action or movement?
I'm going to yell down to Hanoa. Not Hanoa, sorry. I'm going to yell to Anu. I'm going to say, hey, Anu, don't fuck up. Your God's watching. And I'm going to give you advantage. Give you inspiration.
All right.
Don't fuck up. Your God's watching.
Well, on that note, I'm going to grab my pendant, and I'm actually going to cast. Where does it? I'm going to cast Divine Favor, and I'm going to say, Torm, I hope you are watching because I could really use your help clearing out this little horde.
Hard.
Okay, well that's just a bonus action, so you can cast that spell and then as your bonus action, and then
I can.
Make things go splat.
And then I'm going to take a. How's this one looking up here? I know the judge has a good hold on him, but
I mean, he has been damaged before, so he's kind of bloody. Both the ones in front of you and behind you are bloody. The one that's next to you is kind of in the corner there. Doesn't appear to have had any kind of damage to him at all. And
Okay.
He's fresh and is staring intently at you with his little beady orange eyes.
sure. Well, I'm gonna take a step over here, and as I do, I'm gonna kind of say to the judge, I'm gonna hope that you have the one on your step. I'll do my best to clear out some of these, and I'm going to swing my mace down at this man
Okay.
for a 19 to hit,
19 will hit.
and that's going to do 8 bludgeoning damage plus an extra 1d4 radiant damage.
Okay. There's no need to do any kind of damage to this one. Do you want this one to go over the edge, or do you want to brain him?
I would like to brain him
Okay.
in hopes that that area is now more slippery for the
Yeah,
next.
there was already one corpse that was there, and so just coming on top of this one, just hit down, and then there's a shattering of divine radiance as you hit. That your mace just crushes the top of his head, and there's just a big cavity left in there, and he just falls straight to the ground on top of the other one.
And without hesitation, I'm going to use my War Priest ability, and I'm going to attack again at.
You can't use that again
Sure.
because it's a bonus action.
Oh,
You already
damn
used
it, I
one
need to
bonus.
learn how to play my character. I'm sorry.
Next turn.
No, you're
We'll
just
save
Okay.
2 for you.
you're just so filled with your divine fury. It's okay. It clouds the
It's
vision.
hard. Yeah.
Just glowering at the next
Okay.
one. You're like, just wait. Just you
You're
wait.
next.
Okay. Anything else? No. Okay.
That was
That's all I could do.
Okay.
Zard farts.
Okay, so this one that directly below you and you once again tries to grab you, and with the assistance of there's another one next to it, it's attempting to shove you towards the stairway. So athletic check.
16.
I'm at 16, so I think that means essentially you save, and we have no movement whatsoever.
We're at
So
an
he's
impasse.
attempted to grab you and shove you that way, and you're at an impasse, and it's a little too close for your comfort. He grabs you, and you're pretty sure that he's not able to move, but all of a sudden you see that he's using leverage or something from one of the other ones, and you almost get moved, but then you just steel yourself and you stay exactly where you are.
These little buggers are surprisingly strong.
This guy comes up here and realizing that he takes just a swing at you, Anu, and so he attacks with a short sword. That'd be a 19.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. So does 3 points of damage to you as he managed just to slip in past your shield and your armor. In that hesitation where that other one tried to shove you just a little bit, you left a little bit open, and this guy just sticks a sword in and managed to get just a little bit there. This other one also on your side is going to attempt to shove you. So athletic check.
Oh, sure. 14.
14. Well, you succeeded that one too. So that was also a 14. So a little bit wobbly. But you managed to hold your ground. This one comes over here and throws another one of these darts and throws it at Hanoa. And drops his dart and then picks it back up. Okay. That is their turn. It is your turn, Hanoa.
I don't like how close this one is to me. I'm blasting it. Also, it's got my hex on it, so I want to make it hurt.
I'm sorry. The
Oh,
one
the
with
one
hex
that
on it?
the judge is holding.
Got it.
Let's go, computer. That's a 17 to hit.
Okay, hits.
That plus, what is it? Hex is 1d4? Or 1d... Let me double check. Hex is a 1d6 of necrotic. 5 and 5, so 10 points total.
That one is struck by this flash of green and black, and then parts of his goo get on both of the armored.
Both of them? Mostly the judge, though, right?
Both of them, and you get a little bit, but nobody sees it because it just hits the back of like her helmet and her back. The judge is watching the entire thing, and you have a small piece of cloth still in your hand from where you were holding them.
You're welcome. And I take a step back because I'm tired of getting hit with things.
Do you want to move your hex?
Oh yes, yeah, because it's a bonus action. I haven't used it yet, so I'm moving hex to this one I saw pushing on you.
Got it.
So
Is that
disadvantage strength.
is that canon? The word you use to move it?
Do that as I move my hand across the enemies.
All right, so the shadows kind of move and darken from this area over here, and coalesce around that Zvart.
Thank you for the kind reminder.
And then you take a few steps back.
Yeah, Fulker.
Abel, you're able. You're
I'm a little shocked. I've got like a
little piece of leather and cloth still stuck in your hand as that thing just exploded and kind of fell down right at the stairs.
I use that piece of cloth to wipe the goo off my face and throw it down.
It just spreads it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for here. And then I'll take my halberd and I'll attack this guy.
Okay.
Rolled a 12.
He manages to slightly dodge out of the way as what do you call it? His leather armor deflects just a little bit of that. Footing wasn't great. Fighting in this staircase, little cramped quarters. Just weren't able to get in there to make enough dent through his leather armor.
For the record, and for everybody keeping track at home, that is the first time in this campaign that I have given inspiration to somebody beyond the judge, and that was right when he needed it. And I noticed it.
We'll be discussing that later,
I
probably.
know.
We're never getting inspiration ever again. It's
Nope.
always going to the judge forever.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Fulker, back up to you.
Pleased with how it went last time and with Hanoa's pleading. I put my hand up on her shoulder and I grab the dart with my other hand and just pop it out.
Ow!
And
It was all pretty much flesh. But go ahead. Yeah.
she was wearing leather armor, isn't she?
I am wearing leather
Oh,
armor. but
you're
it
wearing
made
leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I pop it out and then I just want to turn and wing it at the guy who's standing on top of the corpse of the one that I stuck with the last one.
Okay.
me. Owie.
So 25 to hit.
That hits.
Roll
Run
1d4
1d4 plus 3.
plus 3. 6 damage. I'm getting better.
All right. Well, throwing that dart, it definitely strikes him right here under the armpit. He's getting ready to I can't what did that one do. That one had the sword. So he's moved back and ready to start striking another one, and the dart goes right through here, and you can see it sticking out, and his arm just appears to be almost paralyzed, and he just stands there just holding it. You can see blood kind of spurting out from his left arm.
Too close to the tug closet.
Okay, you do any movement, any bonus action, anything?
Nope.
Got it. Barman.
Oh, it's me. I'm not doing a very good job of anything yet.
Really fast through all this, what's happened to the lantern?
I know it's
guess-
holding the lantern.
Mhm.
Oh, Hanoa's holding it. Okay.
Yeah. And you
That's right.
passed off the
That's
lantern.
right. She handed it back pensively, or calmly, I should say.
Yeah, and then just walked.
I'm
right
just trying
into
to.
it.
I'm trying to make sure that I know where the light is for what I
Yeah.
can see. That's all.
No, and yeah, it's all good. Like they said, they're all those things are kind of in shadows, but they're because of the balusters. It's given like a zebra kind of look to it, but everybody can
Ooh,
see them.
zebra.
Everybody can
Yes,
see 'em.
a zebra. I'm going to take a 5-foot step forward and yell down to this guy right here. And then I'm going to say, hey, you little blue flock, if you don't run away, I'm going to break off every one of your fingers and hide them inside of you.
Oh God.
It's DC 12 wisdom.
Well, that's dark.
And it's the
You hear
DC was
Hanoa
12
going
again.
in. Owie.
That is vicious mockery, I assume.
Yes.
DC 12.
Yes.
Very vicious.
What? It's
Blue
wisdom,
flock.
right?
It is wisdom,
Yeah.
indeed.
Okay, yeah. So I rolled a 12, but -2. So your vicious mockery was finally lasts, and the guy turns around and looks at you and does how much damage?
I do. 1 point of damage.
The guy attempts to flee and just realizes that everything is useless and turns and hits his head on part of the banister there, or the railing, and then falls to the ground as that dart that was still in there in his attempt to flee, whatever, it hits, goes in, and also you just see his mind just kind of shake.
Nobody do anything with that one because I still have to break its fingers off and stick them. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Movement, anything?
I will grab. I will reach out, and if she will not resist it, I will take the lantern from Hanoa.
Okay.
Is that fine? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna move 5. So it's 10, 15 to here, and that'll be the end.
Got it. Okay. So Anu.
Okay. I'm going to.
With divine favor still up.
Yes.
Got it.
I'm going to swing my mace over at this folk.
Okay.
And realizing that, remembering Barman's words, I'm going to pop my bardic inspiration because I don't think that's going to do it.
Okay. So your first time is you're kind of hesitant and
Kind
you're
of
like,
stumble in the dark a
and
bit.
then steel yourself, and then with inspiration
Mhm.
is what, 1d6?
1d6, correct? Yes.
So, do you want me to roll that?
Yep.
Okay. That's going to be a 16 to hit.
First time you realize that you were going to attack, and then you gird your loins and then take your mace and
Whoa,
use
whoa.
your inspiration and hit, and that is a hit.
Okay. And that's going to be 8 damage plus 1d4 radiant if necessary.
Well, it gets the 1d4 whether it wants it or not, so go ahead and roll it.
Oh, okay. It's a little radiant damage. It's just 1.
You didn't need it because you pretty much brained him, but yeah. So this time it comes across, move the shield into position, and the mace comes right across and actually just dislocates the jaw. The jaw goes flying off to the side, and then he just hits the ground and just starts bleeding out from the mouth.
This place is a mess. I'm going to take a step forward, and I'm going to now try to be a good war priestess and attack this.
Using the momentum of the strike, you're going to attack the one to the side.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Using your momentum forward, step down calmly into the battle, and that's another hit.
Okay. So it's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage with
An
3
additional,
radiant damage.
and maul him to the ground.
She's putting nails in a piece of wood, just like
When you can't,
He's doing work.
she's doing good work,
dislocated the jaw of that one. Then you brought it around, stepped down right across the shield. The creature's right against your shield, and you just slightly lower it, and boom, hit right across the thing, and it just falls backwards as the mace crushes its face.
Kind of wipe my mace off on the back of one of the fallen. Try to clean it up a little bit.
It's almost like it's one of those censure things.
Gross.
And that's your turn.
That's my turn.
Still, nope, can't do that. This one attempts to, seeing what just happened and looking around, this one attempts to flee and run down the stairs, but when it gets right there, you provokes an attack of opportunity against you if you wish.
Oh, I do.
Okay. It leaves its back flanks wide open for you to make an attack.
Okay. That's going to be a 20. Not a natural, but a 20.
That'll hit.
And that's going to be 8 bludgeoning damage, and Torm's still on my side, so we've got a little extra 1 damage.
It attempts to flee. What happens is that it runs, and then you realize that you've got a really good shot at it, and you hit its side. The mace, even though it's got some little knobs on the side of it and little spikes, but it tears through the side, like right around their love handles, and it spins them around, and then it falls down 2 stairs, and you hear
Little blue love handles. Oh.
so it falls down dead about 3 stairs down.
I'm going to very quietly touch my pendant and say, I hope you appreciated the performance. I appreciated your help.
You're very welcome. I was happy to give it.
I don't think she was talking to you, Barman. I think
Not
with
yet.
that, would it be a good time for everybody to take a break?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's
Well,
good.
stream, we'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to go take a quick little bio break, maybe get some water. And
After these bio breaks,
we'll be right
back.
But don't close your video though. Also, I have to look at these notes real quick and see what else we're missing. Let's see here. I don't see that we did any other stuff. Oh, it didn't flip. Never mind. Sorry, I was watching that cat chase Ben out of the room. Yeah, so this is the part of the stream where it's just me. I like to bring it down a little bit and just kind of like, get a feel for the room. I'm just kidding. I'm wearing a tie and a t-shirt, AMA. Magnum PI, he says. Oh, look. Here comes Emma. Now I don't have to be alone anymore.
Hello.
Hi, Emma. I was all alone.
You're all alone. I'm so sorry.
I told everybody, I was like, I'm wearing a tie and a t-shirt, AMA. I was expecting just like a whole stream of lies, but whatever. What are you drinking there?
Carbach Lemon Ginger Radler.
Ooh.
Not Spawn. But Carbach, hit me up.
I finish my whiskey coffee and then I might have a beer.
No more whiskey coffee.
Actually, that sounds good. You know what? I'm going to grab beer too.
No more whiskey. Yeah, beer. Hooray, beer.
Hooray, the beer.
Hooray.
Alright, guys, let's
Oh no.
relax a little bit,
We finished the whiskey coffee and the tie comes off. Ugh. Did he come back with a knife?
He did come back with a knife. What is that in his hand?
An orange? It was an apple? A knife. What have you got there? A knife! No! I'm just making Vine references to an empty group, huh? Hey, stream. How you doing? It's good to see you, Chaotic. I love you.
This beer I'm drinking is the DM beer of choice, and
Oh.
if they were to sponsor us, I would actually DM for beer.
Would DM for beer, yes.
But I'm not going to say their name because nobody's sponsoring.
Oh, well, I
And I-
already announced what I'm drinking, but
And
whatever.
I don't give it away for free.
That's okay. I can't wait to ask Ben why he has a knife.
See the wind. Oh man, that's good.
Why you got a knife there, buddy? Is that an orange? You need a knife for oranges?
It's a mandarin.
You need a knife for mandarins? What are you?
Need
kind of-
one. I
what
like
kind of
playing
bitch?
with knives. What's
The
between
mandarins
the
are just an
options of
excuse.
playing with a knife and not playing with a knife? I choose to play with a knife.
Yep. Apropos. Ooh, sequench. Is it sequench?
Squinch.
No. Sequench is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like this.
Oh yeah, that one's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much like anything from them.
Where are they
Diamond Bear Pale Ale. It's local.
He gave it away for free. He gave it away for free.
I did.
Yeah, not brought to you by
I
that.
know. I told Carbach to hit me up. Please. I'm close enough.
I'm drinking NASA, sponsored by NASA.
Thank you, NASA.
Thank you, NASA, for all your funding.
I'm
We're gonna go join the Space Force after this.
drinking
They don't-
Viking Bloods mead.
They
There
don't
you
have
go.
enough funding to do what they need to do.
I don't know.
Don't give any of it to us.
I don't know, Ryan. If you're gonna get sponsored, you might get probed.
Oh, shit.
Y'all think?
You're gonna send a tiny robot to your lunar
You're right, hey,
landscape.
hey, do you think? I wasn't gonna say. I thought he had a
A
PB&J.
tiny robot.
He's totally got a PB&J. Is it PB&J time?
Heck yeah, it's peanut butter and jelly pack.
No popsicle?
Eh,
I'm
I'm a little
feeling it.
hungry. I need something a little salty and sweet.
You gotta
Okay.
change it up a little bit.
I love
Like
that
these
we just have a
nuts.
bet every time he goes away.
What does he come back with?
What does he come back with?
It's like a flip of a coin, though.
It's like a sip.
Yeah, there's
bet.
two options. I mean,
Next week we'll have to do a straw poll.
Well, there's three options. There's popsicle, PB&J, or nothing. And I guess there'd be four options if you really went hog wild and had both.
Mmm.
And nothing just means he ate it in the kitchen before coming back. Yeah. Okay,
Also
We
gauge what
need-
type of popsicle.
it's true. We could start betting on that.
it's-
So
it's
enough.
always-
It's
always
only
pomegranate.
pomegranate. Yeah.
I mean, always.
All right. Y'all need anything else before we get back to it?
Pomegranates are the best flavor of suckers too.
Okay, we can discuss pomegranates. What are your feelings on pomegranates? Chat, please.
I think they're all suckers.
I think they're a real pain in the ass to actually eat. Like
They
real
have so many seeds.
Ah,
Wonderful. Maybe we'll find some in game.
Take it
So-
easy, Persephone.
we actually use more energy trying to eat the pomegranate than we gain from the pomegranate.
So many skill checks just to open it.
It's slow death by entropy.
Oh, two palm.
All right.
This week's episode brought to you by
Right,
Palm Wonderful.
pomegranate. Yes. Okay, thanks for hanging out with us during our break. We're going to get back to our game now. So we just killed a bunch of things. What's next?
Yeah. Well, there was quite a bit of death that occurred. In the quiet moments right after the last small bluish creature was felled by Anu, essentially by crushing its ribs and smashing it into the staircase, breaking its neck. The wind just continues on. This sound dampening effect still seems to be in effect, and that there's nothing. There's no sound other than just this low wind sound coming up from the staircase, the shaft in between, the shaft in the center of the staircase. The only thing that kind of happens is people shift their weight, creaking of the boards of the stairs. But other than that, you pause. Did this fight attract any kind of attention? But it doesn't appear to have done anything.
This place blows.
When our crew makes their way down the stairs and we get the lantern back, I'd like to investigate the area they were hiding behind.
Okay.
The closet.
I'd like to set myself in a clean spot and just lean against the wall, hoping for a short rest, because I'm useless now. Warlocks, we always need a nap.
I assume we'll search the bodies as we have in the past.
Sure.
Okay. These bodies actually seem to have a little bit less on them than before. They have some small pouches, and you guys managed to gather together about 36 copper and about 17 silver.
Got it.
Do they have any darts on them?
Yeah. All of them have one dart, and so if you manage to go around the room and kind of pick the ones that you manage to get 6 darts if you want.
Okay.
Am I able to recover my one arrow from the one that I shot?
Let's see. No. That was the one that the 27. That was a critical. Yeah, that shattered when it pierced the skull.
Twice.
Twice. Yeah.
I'd like to offer the darts up to Hanoa if she would like to take them.
We can
You
just
know-
stick them all in her, and then they can pull them out. When
Yeah, I mean, I make a great pin cushion. No, I'll take them for now, but Folker did a really good job with them.
That's a fair point.
Maybe he can teach me, though.
He's
I start putting them in
probably-
my bag anyway.
Well, he
Fine.
might need them. he could. I'm sure he could use all the ammunition that.
You know,
that we
I could always just
mustered.
stick one on my shoulder, ready for him to pull out and throw.
It's a good assist, Hanoa. Don't put it down too hard.
Yeah, that would hurt.
So this room, as you guys gather into this little bit of alcove, it's surprisingly sparse, and there's not much in here other than this large cloth, which was kind of pieced together. It's kind of gray and brown and burlap that's been kind of stitched together. But this room is sparse as if it's almost been cleaned out. Or at least swept or such. There's no trash, there's no debris, there's not much in it at all. It probably held something at some point, but it looks like that it was cleaned out specifically as almost an ambush point for them to hide within.
Anu, do you want that cloth for your textile fetish?
I was about to say that.
Just looking at the cloth, I mean, it's fine. It is old, pieced together. A lot of it's rotted, and it doesn't smell great at all.
No.
But it is cloth. I mean, it's various different types. Some linen, some wool, some burlap.
I mean, I don't have any way to launder this properly, and I'm covered in enough things. I'd rather not carry more.
By the smell of it, I think fire is the only way to launder that properly.
I get it.
But I appreciate you thinking of me.
I'm going to try and listen very carefully. See if I hear anything down at the bottom.
Okay.
I guess I gotta roll something.
Yeah, you got to roll something.
You're a good crack of a beer, though.
All right, here it comes. I rolled a 19.
Just as good as I did
Can I
earlier.
get an eagle? Can I get an eagle for that?
God damn it.
Your Foley work is magical. It's like chef kiss.
You you take a beat for a long time. It's a little bit longer than you normally would think. Then listen, you don't hear anything at all, and then just about the time you start to realize there's nothing there, it is the very, very faintest of possibly like those drums that you heard at the very entrance. Like you kind of hear a little bit of, but it was just like it was like a mote of percussion floating up through the shaft of the wind.
All right, Carl Sagan, calm down. Okay, I'm going to make eye contact with the rest of the group and just be like, "There's something down there still."
I want to take a moment and go over to Folker and offer up my my crossbow and any bolts in case he needs any additional equipment.
I don't. No, it's all right. I'm all right. I appreciate it, but I think I got enough left, and these little fellas seem to carry their own ammunition on them. So, hell, I'll just start throwing them at each other if I need to.
Yeah, that'll be funny to see.
Seems like a worthwhile strategy. Hanoa does have some more darts if the need arises.
That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Good old Zvart darts.
How many lawn darts? How many Zvart lawn darts?
It was
Was that
six.
Six. Okay.
They're a little bit smaller than that, but that's not a bad approximation of what they're like.
Zvart dart.
Zvart darts. It's the most fun thing to say since Zeitgeist.
Fart darts. Fart darts. Yep. Fart darts. That's what they're getting written as.
She's our host, everyone. Okay.
I do good with words and things.
Shart darts.
Shark darts. Ew.
They're poison tipped.
What's the poison though?
Shart.
All right, so this room does not hold much. You guys have looted the bodies that you've seen as best you
Does
can.
there seem to be a purpose? I asked Barman what would the purpose of this room be?
So this is when
mine.
you're working with a bunch of the same like men in a place, the problem happens that
It is not a tug room.
You need a closet. You need a closet that you can go to.
It's
So
not a
you
tug
can
room.
Take care of things around. Like you still want to be able to look your coworkers in the eyes, and dwarves would build these rooms. They give you a little bit of Sometimes there's pictures. Sometimes. I kid because I'm terrified right now. I have no idea what this room would be for.
It would be a good staging place to put other kind of supplies and things that you need. Like it's a good it's a break room if you were having to go up and down these stairs carrying heavier equipment.
So lotions and pornography.
Or if you guys were, or if there was anything that was, especially maybe some of those dry ropes up there. If there's a pulley system to be up and down the shaft and things, it's essentially because you're going so deep that it's a break room, all-purpose room that would be used for anything going down 400 or so feet.
If you need a place to put a pulley, that's what this room's for.
Sure.
Or to masturbate. It's whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure if you needed to tug your beard.
Why you gotta be gross? I don't know, but there's something down there. I'm getting giddy because I'm fucking scared as shit that we're just. I mean, someone's just gonna throw dirt on top of us and we're already in the fucking grave. So whatever.
Well, all other details aside, do we need to take a breather? We came down quite a bit, and then we just had a bit of a scuffle again. Hano, are you all right? You've taken some damage, or do you need to rest?
I'm on it.
Okay.
They didn't quite give you enough time. You tried to take a rest.
Don't you take that from her, because I was trying to be helpful.
We can
I'm working on it.
We can stretch this to a short rest if everybody wants. Do you want to catch our breath here?
That's what I've been trying to do.
Does anybody have any reason why we shouldn't wait an hour here and just get our breath again?
I would like to look at the walls.
You're right.
Okay.
There are drums downstairs.
I want to examine the walls because we have at least 2 points of access, one from above and one from below. And that's one too many for what makes me comfortable if we're resting in the middle of a dungeon. And so I'd like to make sure there's at least not a third behind us.
We could put the curtain back up.
If you want to make an investigation check.
I would like to work with him on this. I don't need a rest right now.
Wait, investigation or perception? I'm looking around.
If you're actually actively searching, it's investigation. If you're looking essentially for something, right?
Yeah, I'm dumber than a box of rocks with that. Okay, investigation. That's a 7.
Okay.
Can I assist in some way for this? I don't need a rest, and I would also like to know if we're about to get ambushed again.
We can roll with the common theme seems to be that either you can assist and give him advantage, or you can also roll an investigation on your own.
Well, unless you're as dumb as hell as I am, you should probably just go ahead and roll that on your own.
I'm like really good at investigation.
I rolled a 9.
We both rolled 9s, but
I'm going to stand guard looking out over the opening here.
I'm gonna.
Okay. Anybody else taking actually taking a short rest?
Okay, are we going to take a short rest?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes, I assume you're taking a short rest.
We're stalling, so you can take one.
yeah,
So
I gained nothing from a short rest, so
If Hanoa
Right.
is
I'm not sure if I do or not.
you get
think so.
channeled
Like,
divinity.
Well, everybody can take hit dice.
sure. Yeah, I'm gonna burn hit dice if we take a short rest, but otherwise, I
Yes.
don't.
So this will be a short rest or attempt to be a short rest.
So
I'm just going to stand guard. I'm not taking a rest.
Got it.
for Folker and Hanoa as they take their nap, I'm going to very quietly sit down next to him and be like, "There's this old tune that they used to sing to the dwarves when you were embraced by the earth and sleeping down there. It went do da do ba do," and I sing like some sort of quiet old lullaby and do this song of rest or whatever.
Okay. The Song of Rest. The strange thing is that in the acoustics are really conducive in this room here. Remember, it's
they
been
would
kind
be.
of like this sound dampening thing where everything's been kind of cut off, like in a piano. Whenever you press one of those keys, I don't know, or the pedals, and it cuts all the notes off really sharp. That's kind of what it's been like, other than the persistent wind. But you kind of sit back, relax back here in this little alcove, and for some reason, just the acoustics here just magnify, and you're barely giving off any voice at all, but it just kind of resonates through this room, and everybody just kind of feels it. And Barman, who's been kind of hasn't contributed as much in the world of combat and those kind of things, just suddenly everybody realizes that when he sits down to it, his voice is pretty freaking amazing, and it's interesting to see Barman shine at times when he chooses to.
No oil whatsoever. It's just a natural sheen.
That's nice. I
So,
think.
yeah. So if people are taking a short rest, then you may use hit dice if you wish to regain, and then you get the benefits of the Song of Rest. And
Which is what again?
It's an extra D6. If you use at least one hit dice, you get an extra D6.
D6. Okay. Yeah, I will do that.
So
I don't need the extra.
Oh, that's right. You can click on actual hit dice to use it, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got 4 for mine, and then 1d6. So I gained 7 hit points back.
Yep.
From the 8 that I lost, that is lovely.
I think plus it's added con bonus. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
If I had a con bonus.
Ah. It's like I'm
So,
dumb and dumb.
Anu, are you using any hit dice?
No, I'm not taking a rest.
Okay.
I'm
Fuck,
staying
no, she's not.
vigilant.
So both Abel and Anu kind of stand around and watch the tops of the stairs. Militant standing, watching as the rest of you take a short rest. Strangely, the reverberations of his voice just kind of echoing throughout this small little chamber. And then, as if everybody was following Hinoa's cue, she just kind of wakes up and opens up an eye again and stretches a bit, and well, I guess it's time to go again.
I feel great. Let's go.
Here we go again on our own.
Do we need
Um,
to eat at this point?
You that's up to you guys. It's been a little bit of adrenaline, so nobody is starving right now, but you will need to eat at some point in the future.
Good to know.
Like in the next few hours, you will probably need to eat. But it's nothing
Yeah, I gotta
pressing.
eat.
Nothing pressing right now.
Barman's got to eat. No.
I think everybody's just kind of on edge enough to like the hunger's not really hit or anything yet.
Right, I say we store ourselves and we try and find a way out of this hole, like through the hole and then out of it. Oh,
Agreed.
actually, while we were waiting, Anu, I have a question for you.
Sure.
And while we're kind of sitting there, maybe a moment while the judge is watching for a second, I pull out from my bag a small violin that has the strings are cut on it. And there's also a bow that goes with it, with the strings are cut on it too. I was like, I saw you at one point when you were working with the textiles, casting a spell or something that fixed it. Is there any way that you could use that spell to fix this?
Master Dwarf, as soon as I find the right gear to make this happen, I can absolutely help you with that. I do have some string and needles, but I don't think it's going to repair the way you need it to.
No,
But you have my word. As soon as
I've seen you use magic though. Do you not have magic of some sort?
Real life.
But she's absolutely playing her character correctly. You guys can cuckoo.
right.
I figured.
Yes, I did cast a bit of a mending skill, but I think I need a little something more to be able to do it again.
That's fair.
But you have my word. As soon as I'm able, we will repair your instruments.
You'll never be able, because he's my guy. All right. Sorry.
For some reason, my brain autofilled. He's my dad.
He's not my... Okay, here's the thing. I am
You're my
like
dad.
I am like 183 years old, and he's like 26.
Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Human years are tough for you to judge.
Human years are tough for you too, Judge. Ayo. Yeah, that's because you've got sadness hanging on your shoulders. Okay. All right. On that note, then. I'm ready whenever anybody else is. Today's is good enough a day to be sad.
I believe each pint of oil lasts, what did we say, 6 hours or 8 hours? 6 hours.
You said it's 6.
Yeah, it's been about 3. Just letting you know that one's about half done.
So I think since we had a moment of pause, I would actually fill it back to full.
Yeah, I would have handed the lantern back over to Anya as soon as
Of course, what I mean is that 6 is like it. It's
Three
half a
oil
pint of
hours
oil's
are
gone.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, half a pint of oil. You've been refilling it
Patrick.
when you need to fill it.
Okay, well, yeah, actively, like I'll knock off the half a flask, and then we can have a 6-hour stint moving forward. So there's no question.
Oh, Volker, you do good with these, and I'm gonna hand 4 of the darts to him. I'm keeping 2.
All right.
Take it.
Thanks. Let me slowly add these to my character sheet.
Call them fart darts.
Nope. Just gonna
Please?
call them a dart. Nope.
Zart darts? Zeitgeist? Dart dart?
They are in my possession. They are now just darts.
Damn it.
So are we heading off?
I got my backpack on. Okay.
Hey, I walk over to the edge, and kind of get over by Abel and look down.
He
I
he's,
don't
he,
think I
he has he has mentioned that are we ready to go?
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to. I know, I heard him.
Okay.
I'm just walking over and I want to look down and be like, Judge, you were keeping an eye on us. Did you see anything around here? For this last hour we've been sitting down here, or hours, however long we have been sitting here.
No, just more wind.
All right, you all right?
Ah, I'm good.
All right. Master Dwarf, you think we ought to be getting on?
Might as well.
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing that we were doing before. And
Are we keeping the same marching orders before?
sure.
Are we trying to be stealthy again?
Watch
You
this.
weren't trying to be stealthy before. You were just being
No.
cautious.
No.
He tried to be stealthy.
and he failed miserably. But I'm
Yes.
curious if we're going to try to.
Hold on, I'm going to roll it here. Here we go.
Hey, you made some creaking. Just a minute. Hang with me before we're ready for this.
Roll the
Hang
3.
with me, because I brought him over here. You made some. You creaked a bit. You got to be careful how you step on wood. This is how you do it. I'd like to give him advantage. I'd like to help him in figuring out how to stealth, since I'm proficient at stealth. So, like, giving him advice to tell him how he should do it so that he has a better chance of stepping on these stairs specifically.
Yeah, that's going to take a lot more than a sentence to get through it when
I
he's.
was trying to. I was like.
I understand you're trying.
No, Matt. Sorry, Matt, Dungeon Master. Please, allow me.
Oh yeah, go ahead, please.
See, I didn't know if it would help or not, but you gotta give me like it's not
Do
like
it.
it's magic. He's not
Do
gonna
it.
suddenly turn into a massive like stealth master or anything.
Do I step on this right here? Bong, bong, bong.
Oh, like
No,
this.
you just and no like. Oh.
And you go ahead and roll what you want to roll, and I'll resolve it here in a second.
Do you want me to roll it directly to you?
No, you can roll it in the chat. That's fine.
I just give up. I tried. I
17.
genuinely tried. I'm just gonna give up and just. You got this.
So
You got this.
going down the stairs, it's pretty much the same as it was before. It's a slow going down the stairs with those keeping their hands on the wall as they did before, and the other ones, the oppressive darkness. The only light is from the lantern. The wind seems to be coming the same as it was before. It's as if it's exactly the same as the first 200 feet, and you descend for another 300, almost 400 feet. When Barman, you do notice that. Let's do. Let me move you guys.
Ooh. More stairs.
Yeah, move everybody up over here.
Matt was prepping this and he's like, how many times can I make stairs? And fill up a whole sheet. You never get to the bottom, motherfuckers.
Forever stairs.
I think that's kind of the way it was.
When we come out on top.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
So you've realized that you've come down to the very end.
Cool.
And there is a room that's ahead. At this point, you don't hear anything. But even down here on the ground, from where you're at, you can see it looks to be like the room does have things in it, the clusters of tools and stuff, and there's a bunch of breccia on the ground, and just a large number of refuse and stuff all over the ground.
Como se dice brecha?
Breccia is just
Bruschetta, less
Bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
breccia would be small crushed rocks that are useless.
I think scree.
Yeah, scree.
Scree's a good one. Wait. Did you say scree?
I did say scree.
For our audio listeners, we're having fun with
Okay.
backgrounds.
Fun with technology.
I'll
Barman
say,
just became one with the universe.
do,
Okay.
Yes.
do we want the...
The one thing that you do that you guys have noticed when you get around here is that the bottom of the shaft right here there's a lot of debris and a whole lot of crap kind of piled up there.
Just shit that's
and-
fallen down here over so long.
Yeah, and looking through, you do notice that there's a whole bunch of debris and like wood and just rotting stuff. But every now and then you'll see like there's a few bones which are sticking out.
Is there a Zavart down here? Didn't we lose one over the side? No, it was
Yes.
lost a dagger or something. I don't
No,
know.
you just lost a short sword. Nobody got thrown over.
Gotcha. I was like, okay, I think we've reached the bottom. There's a room ahead. I can't see all the way into it, but I guess that's where we have to fucking go, right?
The people kind of stop right here and wait. I mean, you're not continuing on. You're just kind of stopping
Mhm.
here. And you do notice that it is unbalanced and could be adjusted a little bit better. That it's not the only thing, but there is a little bit that could be helped.
Okay. Well, before we take any further, once we're off the stairs, I'm going to ask the judge if I can help adjust the armor. It looks like it's shifted a bit. Seems it's got to be painful going down all the descent. If you'll allow me, we can probably make this a little easier for him. Take some of the weight off.
Unless we can get rid of the armor entirely, it's. I appreciate it. Show me what you want to do.
Okay. How do you want me to do this? Just kind of like.
No, you just sit there and kind of adjust a little bit. There were a couple straps where things were just kind of twisted around, and you just kind of put it back into place.
Okay. I do that. I pat him on the back. Say, it's probably been a while since you've done something so weighty, but you're doing a fine job.
A flurry of attaboys.
Well, thank you, Anya. I just wish circumstances didn't require me to wear it at all.
Understandable. I wish I wasn't covered in someone else's shape.
That
But
makes
the universe is
one
a
of
strange
us.
place. You're here for a reason, Judge, and we appreciate it. We need you.
What's going on? What are we doing?
I don't know, but it sounds encouraging, and my heart is growing like a Grinch.
Whoa.
I thank you, Anya, once again, and steel myself a little and move forward.
I will reach out. Who has the Anya? Do you have the lamp right now?
I do. I'll probably pass it off to Hanoa if she's willing to take it back again.
I will take it.
Unless, Barman, you want? Okay.
I'll take the lamp and I'll put one hand behind the judge and be like, "I've got your light right here, buddy. Don't worry." And I'll just kind of like, just be standing like I'm gonna stand just enough behind him that like I'm not shadowing what's in front of him with him. Like so the lamp's gonna be off to the side so he can see what's in front of him.
Care to join me, Anya?
He's got your light. I've got your back, Judge. Let's go.
Hi, Folker.
Can we do some sort of a listen check or perception to see if we can hear little skittering voices or drums or
How does a
danger?
voice skitter?
Like
I want to know it. That's awesome.
It's like the way a cat looks outside at a bird or a squirrel and goes.
Ah, what's a cat? No.
Okay, so Abel moves down to the foot of the stairs. Anybody else? I mean, he'll need some light to see.
I'm right behind him with the light, like I said.
Yeah, I'm moving down to the base of the stairs too.
Okay, go ahead and move down there so I can make sure that. Okay, got it.
So what is this? Oh, the lantern.
Lantern.
It is literally a bottle of wild turkey with fireflies.
Aw, that sounds cute, but sad.
So, this is a large room. Basically to your right, to both Anu and Abel, looking to your right, that wall is just cluttered with tools. There's a lot of sharpening wheels, sharpening stones, artisan tools. There's several half-rotten aprons. It appears that this is kind of like a donning and doffing area for any of the miners and workers. There's this whole area off to your guys' right side, for 10 feet around and including the entire wall is just kind of chock full of old rusted tools and rotting leather aprons and gloves and anything that somebody might use in any kind of mining operation. It's all just kind of just laying there on the ground. Off to the left, you can see that those are open alcoves. At least you can see two open alcoves that just head off into the darkness in that direction. Barman, since you're kind of there, also looking up ahead, you can see the rest of the room. There's another alcove also off to your left, and then straight ahead there appears to be there's an alcove, but there's a kind of a heavy cloth, maybe even like partially leather, which is covering that entryway.
Wait! I know this. There are men tugging behind that. Or Svarts.
That's one tug too far.
One tug over the line, if you know what I mean.
One tug over the line.
I think that might be the name of this.
One tug over the line, sweet Jesus.
Writing it down just in case. It's either that or maces and asses.
So I don't see anything, I assume, in the room other than the stuff you described.
I'll concur too. I'll be like, I don't see anything yet to judge, or judge it on you. I'm not gonna direct him because nothing.
No,
yet.
and entering even further, you guys gather up that entire. Can see that through each of these alcoves, you can the light reveals just a little bit.
It's like a whole system of tug closets.
Like I said, the most of the right side is just jumbled with tools and stuff that have all just been kind of fallen to the ground, and some are still hanging. It's just a bunch of rusted old stuff that has been left abandoned there. The left side where you have those alcoves, there's breccia on the ground and various boulders and stuff that when either these tunnels or stuff has been excavated, it's just kind of piled into the corners and around the sides. There's an easy walking area that if you don't remember, the ground here is fairly smooth, as if the ground has been carved and polished, but there's layers of dust and dirt around, not enough to be able to tell any kind of tracks, but there's definitely areas in which I walk through and areas which are not. But when that occurred, nobody knows. Almost all the corners and the sides around the walls are all kind of caked in mounds of dirt and stuff that is accumulated. And then the only other thing is the entrance, the one straight ahead over this way. In this direction, there's a heavy, and it probably at one point would be red, but it might be either red leather or a very thin red leather or a thick cloth covering that doorway. It's moth eaten. Matter of fact, and it's not all the way even to the floor. You can still kind of see underneath.
Is there something this way, or is that just
No. That's
okay?
There's
A
nothing.
polygon reveal.
Yeah, that's just a
Okay.
little bit of the reveal.
Are there?
Precise?
We're in a mine. I'm gonna guess. Are there loose stones about?
Yeah. Oh,
Don't you see all
especially
the
over here on the
bruschetta?
left side. There's a whole bunch of breccia and loose stones all about,
Okay.
Forget the scree
or scree.
and breccia. I'm gonna listen as I get closer to this covered doorway.
Okay.
So did you clarify that this room, what we can see right now, those are the walls, and we've got one door ahead of us, and there's the 3 doors on the left?
Yes, although they're not doors,
Alcoves.
they're just open alcoves,
Okay.
so they kind of disappear into the darkness. Does Anu still have the torch?
No, I
Or
have
the
the
No,
torch.
Barman has it.
barman has it. Okay, yeah, so that's about as far as they go. Now you can see a little bit further into those than the torch is revealing.
I rolled a 10 when I listened.
Right now the cloth in front of you kind of moves with wind, as if that's where a lot of this wind is coming from. Also, there's a little bit of wind that's coming from one of these alcoves to the left. The other two do not seem to have any kind of wind coming from them at all. But that's about the extent. Right now, you just don't hear or see or perceive much of anything other than that.
And it's just like a cloth hanging over an opening.
Yes, but it's essentially it'd be like a very heavy velvet curtain or a very thin doe skin. You're not sure which one it
I'll
is.
take my halberd and kind of try to push it to one side.
Okay. And since
I
the
didn't like the sound of that. Okay. I'm about to receive a message.
Roll for dawn loss.
you can kind of see into the other room, there's the first thing that catches your eye in the other room is there's a small pathway right through right where you part the curtain, but there is a lot of metal inside of that room. Jiggada, jiggada, jiggada. I knew he was going to do that. There's a lot of also some more debris and crap in the ground, but it appears to be mostly metal.
I don't know
Like
what
ore?
No,
like grindcore or
it looks to be like parts maybe of you're not quite sure, but maybe wheels and some axles, some big huge metal containers. I'm not sure how familiar you are with mines and mine working, but
I would like to. Oh shit! What did I just do? I would like to, if we can. I would like to inspect these alcoves before we move forward. I'll say that to the judge. I'm gonna be like, let me check out these alcoves very quickly before we move forward.
Okay, and I didn't see anything specifically, right?
no, you didn't see anything.
Okay, well, I'll let that curtain fall back.
Fall back. Okay.
Can I investigate?
Sure. Well, if you want to just go look first, you can go look in each of them first.
Yeah, why not?
Tell me which order and which way you want to go.
I will investigate the topmost one on the left.
The top one on the left. Going to this one. You go look and it appears to be in pretty good shape. It continues, and with your with the dwarven skills that you have and growing up spending some time underground, you realize that that passage kind of twists and descends.
Mm.
But as far as you see, you take a few steps in and look, and it continues to go into darkness, descending and twisting.
All right. Peeking down that one.
You do realize that that down that one that is one of the sources of wind that's coming through that one.
I'll very quietly say to my compatriots, this is where the wind is coming from. It goes farther back. And then unless anybody else wants to do it, I'll move on to the other.
The middle one?
Yeah.
Okay. You open up this one. Do you still have the lantern, right?
I set the lantern down on the floor of the room.
Okay, you set the lantern down on the floor of the room. All right.
But I can see 60 feet in pitch black.
Yeah, you can see 60. I just didn't know if you were bringing the lantern or not. How should I do this? So how far in do you go?
What do I see from the entranceway? Let me move my little token. What do I see from here?
So the first thing that you notice is that you can see what you think to be right at the very edge of your view. You think you can see some heels, and they look like Zvart feet. And it looks like that their heels, like their feet, and the feet are down as if the toes are down and the heels are up, and both of them are up like this. So like their toes are down.
So it'd be like
their
a
heels are
horse laying face down.
That would be your guess, yes. And that's at the very edge of your view, and that's just that's getting the blackest of it's just black and white, and it's not in great kind of color, and that's just what you can see just from where you're at. It don't appear to be moving.
I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna look to the judge. Like, can I get his attention real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna point to the lantern or the lamp, and then motion over.
Okay, I move over.
I need a signal, kind of like Folker has, like a time to party signal. I gotta figure it out.
Okay, so moving forward, the 20 feet of the lamp, the lantern does not extend all the way to where you can still see the feet. So
I will say, I'll be like, from inside that I can see what looks to be one of those blue guys lying face down. I can't tell if it's alive or it's dead.
Well, pass the word. I'll go check it out. Keep the light going.
okay.
I'll be right behind you with the light.
Taking steps until the light actually reveals, you continue so that you take about move in, and then finally the light starts to reveal that you see the feet, and then you continue to move forward, and just about the time where you realize that the entire walls, ceiling, and everything is just covered in this bright green dripping goo. It's extremely bright, and they realize that the creature, that the blue skinned creature, its head is inside of this green mass, and you realize
it's not glowing though, right?
It's not glowing, but
Okay.
but once I'll tell you a couple things before. So once it appears like that the head is being dissolved, and that you only see the shoulders, and this green mass is just kind of inching its way slowly up the thing's shoulders, and it's kind of slightly, very imperceptibly pulling the Zvart into itself, and then on the ceilings and stuff. As you take like 1 5-foot step forward,
If I see someone's head being dissolved, I don't know that I take
a
that.
very macabre scene is there, in that you see a Zvart, one of these blue creatures. You see one of these blue creatures just kind of sitting, and it's staring directly at you, and its eyes are wide, and it blinks, and it's just sitting there blinking, and it's looking at you, and you realize that most of its waste and everything has been dissolved, and it's got these tendrils of this green stuff going up its chest, and it's just sitting there looking at you and just looking and staring. And then you kind of see that there's a little bit of the slime comes out of its nose, and just its face begins to slightly dissolve. You realize you can look around and you see there's about 3 Zvarts, three of these blue creatures in the process of being dissolved. And then almost imperceptibly, as the light begins to hit this green goo, this green slime, the slime begins to react to the light and starts to move very slowly towards you.
Yeah, we very opposite of slowly move back away from the. I grab Barman and I haul him out of there.
You don't have, I'm on my way already too. So you should throw oil at it, right? What do we do? Where do we go? Do we go down
It's,
that?
it's what, like 40 feet down the tunnel?
It's more than 60 feet. So
and there's an alcove is how wide here?
it's 10 feet by 10. Those are 10 by 10.
Okay.
As you back away, Barman, you take as Abel backs away and the light leaves, you take one more glance as you're looking backwards, and you realize that once the light kind of goes away, it retreats and just kind of sits where it is and doesn't seem to move any forward. But you only see that for like half a second as you're running or moving quickly away.
I was like, it doesn't look like it's following us, but this seems like a really good time to nope the fuck out of here. Not my words, but whatever.
I'll quickly tell everyone there's, I don't know, some kind of greenish goo down that hallway that's dissolving these blue guys, and don't go down that hallway.
Ew.
That's our rule for the day.
But what about this one? I want to look in the hallway I'm standing next to.
Okay.
Just
When the
like
light,
stick my nose in.
right.
I can't see shit.
No. And you don't smell anything either. And also, there's no air that's coming from that one. It appears to be like it's real still air, and it smells stale.
It smells boring.
It smells boring.
So what's the game plan, friends?
Hey, DM, can I investigate, or is that too much of a reach for you?
Is it the stuff you've sent me?
Mm-hmm. Which
Yes.
either way,
No, you can make an investigation check.
Okay. Either way is fine.
Especially since everybody else is doing something else, you can spend your time doing that.
Oh man, that's an 11. Yeah. Let's do it.
One of the tough things about finding a lodestone is that most lodestones that are naturally occurring have occurred not underground, but on top of the ground, because lodestones magnetize from lightning strikes generally. So looking below ground for a magnetized type of rock or a magnetic rock would be difficult. But if they were to be here, you would guess that they would likely have been found by dwarves and be set out someplace. Just on the ground, like naturally, just kind of finding them amongst the loose stones would be an almost impossible thing. That you would suspect that dwarves or anything that would mine here, if they would find a magnetized rock, would definitely set it out.
Okay.
That would be your guess.
Sure.
Because they're a valuable thing. They do occur underground, but most magnetized rocks happen from lightning strikes above ground.
Sure. Well, in thinking better of myself, when so long as the group is still doing what they're doing and we're not in immediate danger, I want to just make my way over here and kind of peek in there, whenever time allows at some point.
Sure. The time would be pretty much kind of now, because they took the lamp when they went back down there, but he's returned with the lantern. And Folker, are you just in the corner?
Yep.
Okay.
Only Folker puts Folker in the corner.
I have profoundly little light, and people are kind of running back and forth looking at different things, and I don't want to be touching anything that's going to attack, so And I'm also in literally the antithesis of a comfortable environment. So, yep, Folker's in a corner.
All right, so the group comes back. Hanoa says that that bottom thing seems boring,
It's empty. I don't know. Smelt boring. Sound boring.
and with the lantern back in the center, and you can kind of see. Do you part that curtain?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it looks like that there is parts of wheels and parts of axles and maybe parts of what you now could kind of piece together are broken and discarded and in various stages of repair mine carts.
Well, assuming I don't hear any scurrying or little creatures running around, I'm gonna just take a peek in there as well. I mean, the chances are slim, but there's always a chance.
Okay. Well, with the light coming to help you guys out.
No, it's not. It's staying right where it is, apparently.
Barman, can I borrow a little bit of that light, please?
For sure.
He's just sitting there, nibbling on a
An apple he got out of his high
Apple.
school backpack. Sick Jan sport.
It's a sick
It reveals
change.
a little bit of more of that room, which once again is just kind of filled with these large iron carts, numerous tools. Off to the left, over there, there's an old forge, which is just kind of left in the corner. Not even close. They're not even close to being operational. There's a hammer and an anvil to the right. There are a number of large mine carts which are full of coal. So there's quite a bit of stuff in here that looks like that this was some sort of either manufacturing, repairing area of mine carts. That to your right is part of a track. It's a mine track. And that goes actually underneath a door to the right. That is an iron-bound door. To the left, that's another alcove.
Okay.
I'm behind the two of you guys. Sorry, the one of you guys and the one of you ladies. So I'll hold this
Well.
lamp as long as we need it, but I like having a judge on you shield.
It looks like we found the entrance to the mines.
I mean, it would look that way, but let's see.
I think the key now is to figure out where the camp's entrance is in respect to us.
And then one of those alcoves, not the one with the slime in it, but the other one had.
This one had wind blowing through it, right?
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Is that the one that had the wind blowing through? Or I
Maybe
thought
we
that was
should-
the one that smelled boring.
No,
No,
the one
that-
that smells boring, I'm standing by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
No.
it's wind, face
Yeah.
eating slime, boring.
And there was a little bit of air flow this way, correct?
From
Oh,
the
so,
mine.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There was.
How long has it been since we left the the other room upstairs, the holding pattern?
Oh, I mean, you got maybe 30 minutes.
Okay, so not very long.
No.
Okay.
Hanoa and Folker, are you continuing with the group? Because you've pretty much left in darkness at this point down there.
Well, their tokens haven't moved, so I'm not.
Oh, they haven't?
Yeah, the tokens are still on my screen. The tokens are still inside the room that I'm in.
Oh, yeah, they're still inside the room. I was just saying that you're out of the radius of the light. So.
What's the radius of the?
No, he's right in it.
Oh, he's right in it. Okay, I'm sorry. Got it.
I wanna get a listen for any like scurrying critters.
In that alcove?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's a 9.
Like I said, you don't hear much of anything coming out of there. The
Yep,
air
sounds
seems pretty.
boring.
Air seems pretty still.
Air sounds boring.
Sounds boring.
So the question: Do we go into this room and look at the mines, or do we move into this alcove? What do you guys think? Folker, are you doing okay over there?
No, yeah.
What should we do? Should we move forward, or should we investigate where this wind is coming from? I don't want to have anything to do with that slime. That's bad news. That's bad news bears, whatever the fuck that is.
Slime sounds gross.
But let's avoid the slime.
I say we check out this room first.
Okay.
Okay.
Move on in then.
As the light appears to move away from me, I will hurriedly catch up. And in the next room, I will look for a corner that is the dark corner that I can get
Hey,
into.
you're playing Folker, not Marlowe.
As long as the forest ranger is underground in the blinding no light cave, I'm playing Marlowe.
Just without all the fun tricks.
They said there's just more of this, more of these tools and broken carts. The one thing about this room is that it is definitely like everything has been shoved into each of the corners, so that there are walkways, which is like the 4 cardinal directions, like in a plus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a pathway straight ahead, there's a pathway to your left and to your right, but in each of the different corners, there's just a whole bunch of crap which has kind of been piled up and trash. These are doors, which are the first doors that you've actually seen. So this is a door ahead here. It's an old door. It's wooden, even though you can kind of see through some of the slats are kind of rotted. It used to be wood and iron bound, but the iron binding is kind of rusted away and is pitted, and the wood itself is also very old and dry rotted. The door to your right, however, fares a little bit better shape, and that it's the same type of door, but it's in much better shape. And off to the alcove, this is track that goes off to the right, so it appears like it's a minecart track, like it's railing. And Folker, you can just entering this place very faintly, you do hear voices and some drums coming from this direction.
Hey, shh. Y'all hear that?
I smell it.
I mean, if anybody wants to make a check, they can make a check. But you're just passively you walking in here.
Yep, I know. But my dude would say, "Hey, do y'all hear that?"
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
I'd try to.
Yeah, I totally hear that.
Hear what?
I rolled a 17.
6.
Yes. So when you stop and just sit around and Abel, you can definitely hear some things beyond that door. As a matter of fact, both you and Folker kind of there's a little bit of all of a sudden now there's a little bit of shadows which move beyond it, as if there's a light source beyond that door too.
I'm like, I hear it, Folker. I hear it.
So I go ahead and knock an arrow, and I stay huddled into the corner.
Okay.
You say I saw shadows. Does that mean that there's a light source on the other side of that?
Yeah. That it's so very faint. Like I said, the door is kind of rotted, but I mean, and so there's a little bit of space in between some of the rotted slats of the door, and so when you say it'd be very, very difficult for you to 100% say it, but you kind of think, man, shadows behind there. You have your own light source here, so it kind of spoils the effect of if you were in complete darkness, you would easily be able to say there's a light source beyond it. But
all right, in that case, I'm gonna I had the arrow knocked. I'm gonna go ahead and put the arrow away as I step into into the center junction quietly, and I'm gonna grab that little club off my hip
Okay.
And just kind of give a wait signal, like just put my hand up, and I want to stealth over to the door and look through one of the cracks.
Okay.
Okay.
When she says okay, I look at her and put my finger up to my lips. Shh. I got a 17 on my stealth to get to the door.
Okay. Okay. So you approach the door, and then it's one of those things where for you to get close, you're gonna. I mean, you would have to like get right up and like put your eye up and up to the door. There is light on the inside, but it is like a very, very low, dull red. So it's almost like it gives a really strange look inside there. That it's like a red glow, and it's extremely faint. But you are able to see inside of there, and the first thing that you kind of notice is that you're looking at a lot of backs. It looks like that you see a lot of blue creatures, and you think they look like the blue creatures, even though in this really red light they appear to be like almost purple. In true light they're blue, but because of this red light, they give off like this dull purplish glow. Anyway, you can see the back, and you can at least see. Oh man, you're not quite sure how many of them there are, but you can see the backs of them. They all appear to be looking further into that room, and then there is some sort of figure, which is a very, very large figure up on an elevated platform, and that large figure is kind of hulking over and appears to be shimmering, and it's speaking something.
And it's not speaking a language that I know.
No.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to walk back. Do I roll stealth again, or is that other roll?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
And you did notice that like nothing was paying attention, so.
Right. Right, y'all. On the other side of that door, there's a whole bunch of them little blue things, and there's some big giant shimmery thing talking to them. I mean, it's like big, like bigger than the judge here big.
Scary.
I haven't eaten that much.
Bigger than the cleric here big. I mean, we're talking like not us skinny, frail, tiny people, all right? Like, it's big. And there's a whole well, I didn't count them one to one. Would I say if I was using an offhand number in a colloquial sense, would I say there's a dozen? Would I say there's 20? Would I say there's 100? Would I say, like, if I was saying how many blue things there were, what would be my fast number that I would say? Once again, I didn't count them.
No, I don't. More than 10?
All right, there's at least a dozen of them things in there. I mean, unless someone knows a way to take out a dozen of them in some giant shimmery thing, I'm okay with avoiding that room.
I'm sure they'll come up on us at some point.
Well, you have the will of whatever dark forces you got. You welcome to go blow them all to hell.
Dark forces? Who said
No,
something
you don't.
about dark
I mean, you don't need to
forces?
say anything about dark. We've seen them all. The green, black shit that's flying up.
What part of there's a whole room full of people? Do you two not understand?
You guys can start to hear that there is some chanting, and the drums kind of getting a little bit louder as you guys hear Rashavart, Rashavart, Rashavart.
Fart, 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 fart.
If I hear them sing Rashavart, I'm going to take a second. And I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay.
And I will see if I can hear or understand what it is that means.
You hear the chanting of Rashavart, but Rashavart actually continues to be Rashavart. That's what is continuing to be said. But you do hear a little bit, and it's in a voice that sounds different than the others. It sounds almost, and I don't know how your character would understand. It sounds like it's an airy, ethereal voice. You hear, "Through the spindle, we will collect the marrow of the world."
Right thing, sorry. I'm going to whisper to these folks. I'm going to say, he's saying, through the spindle, we will collect the marrow of the world.
That sounds like some dark evil religion shit.
Should
And
we...
as I say that, I look at Hanoa.
Hanoa just has ideas.
Ideas, guys. We could try to set up a pincer attack? I don't know.
What the fuck do you think this is, Final Fantasy 3? What are we doing?
What's
I'm
Final
gonna.
Fantasy 3?
I'm going to reach into my pack and pull out the one of the flasks of oil, and kind of mimic it. Make sure it's closed, and then kind of mimic pouring it around the doorway, and then, you know, the generic lighting a match type of tinderbox.
I grab Folker and Anu and try to back everybody into the room behind us.
I would do that.
Man, you don't need to pull very hard. I go there pretty damn willingly.
We go.
Okay.
Sparman.
We make sure that leather hanging is back in place.
Okay.
Barman. Where'd Barman go? Oh,
Fucking gone.
he's gone. He T-celled on out of there.
So this other alcove then, I guess?
Yeah, I was like, we don't have to go that way, or at least we don't know that we have to go that way yet.
We had 2 other doors in that room we just left, but
No, I say we...
Right. But this one, we know this way opens up somewhere bigger, correct? Or it felt that way?
There's definitely wind coming.
All he knew is that it continued at a 10 by 10, and it continued on and descended and turned.
now I'm happy to follow anything with fresher air. If it's moving, I'd rather go.
It
there.
wasn't necessarily fresher, but it was moving. Meaning there was a difference in pressure.
That is the closest signal of the natural world that Folker is experiencing right now, so he would call it fresh air.
Well, sure. The intent of us coming through here was to find a different way around to the camp, and I think it's best we focus on that, and hopefully we don't meet friends along the way.
So, Folker, you hear that door opens up on the other side of you can hear the door open up, because you definitely hear that the noise gets a little bit louder.
Before anything else happens, I duck, put my back up against the corner, put a finger up, and start motioning everyone to move.
I get caught in the middle. I'm like...
Which everybody moves off to the side. If you're gonna, Anu, Folker, you're good with it. Anu, Hanoa, make a stealth check, because that's where there's a whole bunch of tools and stuff down there on the ground. So if you're gonna back up against their tiptoe, just try to make a stealth check to see how. Oh no!
Natural one. I die first.
Okay. Yeah.
When I hear that clatter, I am ready to stab anything that comes through that hanging with the halberd. I'm just throwing that out there.
I would like to preface that I probably still have that flask of oil sitting relatively accessible.
Sure, you were attempting to show everybody, do we want to burn this place down?
I think I throw like a little bit of cloak over the lamp.
Okay. Well, the first thing that happens is that Folker, you manage to get back there and you start motioning everybody. And then they all kind of skip off to the side and start to move their way. Both you and Folker and Abel hear a voice coming from when that door opens up. You hear somebody saying, "I gave him the gift, and he went away, and I need us to find him. We have to find where he's at." And then all of a sudden, Hanoa's backing up, and you're clink, clank, clank. And then all of a sudden, the voice shuts up and says, "What was that? What was that?"
I'm sorry.
Now, that was uncommon for you.
I don't move a muscle.
Yeah, I
I
stick
am.
with
I.
two. Like I said, I am ready
Let me
to.
rephrase that. I would like to, if you want me to roll a stealth check, because I didn't want to roll.
No,
one.
I think you're going to be fine.
Well, I am going to as quietly as possible. Because
if you're gonna move,
right, as quietly. Well, I'm not moving from my position. I'm gonna. I want to check.
if you're just gonna knock an arrow,
Yeah, is disadvantage? It's within. It's only within 5 feet. I can shoot an arrow at 10 feet without having disadvantage in 5 feet.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, there's not a minimum range. Okay, yep. So I got an arrow knocked and ready to drill it right through the first head that pops through there.
Okay.
They have a cave troll style.
So Abel and Folker, because you actually everybody except for Barman, go ahead and roll a perception check.
There's my good roll.
I rolled an 11.
Oh, I
13.
rolled an 18.
10.
So it wasn't very difficult, but what you guys hear is the room across the way. Everybody gets completely silent. Now everybody kind of still hears the drums going on in the background, but what you do kind of hear is you hear a foot go, and then you kind of can see that something's moving on the other side of the curtain. You can kind of see some shadows, and then everybody kind of hears,
Beatboxing. I've
and
seen
then it
this before.
disappears.
I'm just gonna say, like, though I have like kind of a cloak over the lamp right now, that as soon as if at any time it appears that any of my friends are in danger, I'm gonna pull it away so they can see what's
No,
happening.
everybody just kind of froze, and everybody was froze, and then you heard 2 steps, and then you heard some kind of huffing and breathing on the other side of that red leatherish velvet curtain, and then you heard 2 steps and went away.
That, for all intents and purposes, none of us can see.
None of you saw it. Everybody just heard.
No. My point being is that if he's thrown his cloak over the lantern, literally none of us can see except for
what it's like as if it's a dark room with a nightlight. You couldn't read anything by it, but everybody can kind of see some shadows. So it's not casting any kind of light, but it's like there's like a dull nightlight kind of thing.
Abel, I sure am glad you're a hell of a lot taller than these blue bastards, because otherwise, you're just a silhouette at this point.
True. Yeah.
Alright, my actions, I'm frozen.
Well,
Okay.
I will move forward and attempt to peek around the edge of the curtain. I don't know. I know there's not much light, but there was some light from this room to the north. I'm hoping.
Yes. Now what you see when you look is that door is open. That wooden door that was there is flat out open, and you can see within there that there is a red light coming from inside, but it's beyond what you can tell. But that door that Folker went to look at is now open.
And I don't see anything moving or otherwise.
No, you'll have to get a little bit closer. Like I said, it's a really, really dull light.
Not in that room, but in the room on the other side of the curtain here.
Oh yeah. No, you can't see anything in there. It looks exactly as if it was before.
Okay. I kind of turn to Barman, and I kind of give him the signal that I don't see anything. I'm sure and I don't know.
I will. Shit, I don't know what to do with this light. I don't want to get too close to the door with the light. I'm gonna just wave people over towards this alcove, which nobody can see. Um, shit. Look over here.
To which alcove? The where you're at?
Yeah. I'm gonna try and like open up my cloak just a little bit so that there's like light on the wall, so it gets like a little bit more of like a reflection in the room, like a little bit
Do
more,
shadow puppets.
a little bit, yeah. And I'm gonna try and like
Barman, put that away.
wave people over.
I don't look at where I think Anu is.
Y'all, Folker, Anu, and Hanoa, you guys are all. You can kind of. It's one of those things you can. You know they're there. You can see them, like the very, very faintest outline of the shadow. You know that the three of you guys are right next to each other. Hanoa, you've been like scared stiff to like.
Yeah.
Your muscles are like you're just frozen stiff.
Yeah, I'm not moving until I get affirmation that yes, I can move.
Was there drumming?
The drumming's still going on. As a matter of fact, almost everybody can kind of hear it now that door is open. There's just some drumming coming from on there. It's fairly faint. It's not like it's overpowering.
Does it sound like has the distance changed or okay,
Yeah,
so it's still in the same place.
And every now and then you guys can hear just some noise that perhaps sounds like those blue creatures talking. It sounds like a very similar voice, maybe quite a few of them chanting or making noise.
I would probably say to Folker, we're sitting ducks if we just stand here.
I'm so mesmerized by that cat that climbed that chair right now. I just can't.
That's a big piece.
She's gonna fall in a second.
Yep.
As if on cue.
Yep.
I make it over exaggerated because of the darkness, but I'm just motion with my head for the two of them to move across the room towards Barman, but I don't move.
Sure. I grab hold of Hanoa and I kind of motion that we're going to move. And
Okay.
I'll move with her as best I can.
I'm literally gonna move hands and knees across the floor as quietly and slowly as I can until Anu's like, "Come on, let's go."
And which directions everybody going?
Towards Barman, where he kind of signaled a little bit.
Okay.
Not me. I'm staying where I am, but
And I'm staying put as well right now.
Okay. So if you guys are trying to stealth, then go ahead and stealth. And Anu, that's with disadvantage.
That's not a failure-ish. Like, it's a 7. Not a natural.
13.
Okay. They're not quiet, but they do move. They do move to the other side, and Abel and Folker, since you guys are sitting there watching, nothing seems to have changed. You notice that nothing seems to have noticed.
I would also like to say that if there's a consistent drum pattern, I would try to move within the drum beat.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. Well,
fervent.
successfully, you've moved over to where Barman is at, and at least neither Abel nor Folker has indicated that anything was amiss from you guys moving.
so Amsh, move your token to the other room. I'm gonna look towards Abel and just kind of nod. He can take that how he wants, but I'm staying where I am. I'm not moving. I'm going to stay and be prepared to. Well, they wouldn't have any idea what I'm preparing to do, so I'm just gonna stay here and I'm just nodding. Like the girls have made it across the room, so I'm kind of trying to give a confirmation nod.
I'll take that nod and I'll back up a step and have my halberd ready to hit anything coming through that door and kind of give Volker the come on signal.
Okay. Then my intention is to move from there over to there, so I can dip into the hallway if I need to, but I still want to be able to have a clean shot on that door.
Okay.
And I'm doing it stealthily, so 13.
Okay. Neither you nor Abel hear anything coming from anything amiss.
Okay, if I pause there for a second and I don't hear anything, then I'm gonna move. Like, that was like a half movement there, and then the other half of the movement into the other room.
Okay.
Just slide past everyone.
Okay. Abel?
As soon as I see him clear, I'll start backing up towards this alcove.
Okay.
Make some space for him.
Okay. So are you going to enter?
I have entered.
Okay. So everybody is here.
Wait a second. Wait a second. We can't let that pass.
The height of foreplay, Judge. I have entered.
I have entered. Okay, sorry. We had to give that comment its due time.
I have entered.
Do you feel me?
We are children.
I have entered.
Okay.
Sad day when the tug room was more uplifting than the last second.
I'm pretty sure one tug over the line has to be the name of this session.
Maces and asses.
So you're in this room, this alcove, which is
I have entered.
this is definitely a tunnel, 10 by 10 tunnel.
It's like throwing a hot dog down a skag hole. Sorry.
Skag hole.
Borderlands.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna move a little farther back with the light too to see if we can see a little bit more.
Okay. This continues fairly straight for at least as far as your vision goes for about 60, and it's only as your dwarvishness begins to see that, man, there's what do you call it? There's descendingness to it, but it's not very much. It descends at a very, very low grade.
Guys, this hallway has a lot of descendingicity coming about it. We
Is
were
it rough?
we were inverted.
Is it rough?
Like more rough than the
Yes.
Warren room? Okay.
Yes.
Would you say this situation is slowly declining?
Well, if you're at the bottom, it's inclining.
Obi-Wan Kenobi quote. Yeah, this looks like it just goes down, but the wind. Excuse me.
Who are you, stranger?
Excuse me. It looks like it looks like the tunnel continues to go down, but the wind has to come from somewhere. Guys, I'm at a loss here. Guys and gals, I'm at a loss here. I don't want to go face what was in there, but maybe we keep moving forward and see where this declension goes.
I'm with that because I royally fucked it up back there.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I did. It's
piles
okay.
of
Thank you,
tools are
Barman.
meant to be knocked over. Trust me. I spent my entire life doing such things.
If we're gonna move, let's stop talking about it and move.
Yes.
Okay.
That reminds me of another thing that we should probably think of. I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Okay. We move on.
Yeah, let's go to 60 feet and see what happens.
Okay. 60 feet turns into 60 more feet.
Oh, let's double down. 120 feet. Last bit.
Turns into 60 more feet.
Oh.
It does kind of it kind of turns, and you can tell that it's slightly descending, and it is slightly turning to your right.
Barman's tunnel is slightly descending.
My tunnel's like this. But anyway, 60 more feet, final bit.
Turns into 60 more feet. I don't quite know what that is funny, but it is funny.
That's 180
It's
feet.
just so good. I don't know why.
120 more feet.
Oh.
We're outside.
How much you gonna give it? How many hours?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I'm going to say this. At
No, just curious. How long you want to travel?
30 minutes into here.
Okay.
Okay.
At the 30-minute mark, you have essentially you've realized that you have descended almost two full revolutions down, and it's about the 200 to 200 to maybe about 400 feet. You guys have gone in a spiral downward. The only thing that you do notice that's different is that you come upon a room that very much looked like the room that was that you fought the Zvarts in when
tug
up on the
closet,
stairs, the tug room. Except that this one does not appear to have been cleaned out like that one did. This one has a whole bunch of
All the tug stuff is still in there.
it's plenty of tug residue.
Hugged room.
Yeah, the tugged room.
Fucking
I do not
Angie.
enter.
The tugged room.
The room has the air that it has been abandoned and nothing has been here for a very long time. The other thing that you have that begins at this point is that one, you should probably mark off. I think you're probably about finished with your pint of oil at this point. Also, having walked for a good 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes after this kind of time of where everybody was on edge and heightened, your sense of hunger and tiredness really starts to affect you now. That you realize that, like, we've been at this a little while, and we were on such edge and pins and needles for hour to 2 hours, including the fight and the descent, that now you feel like we're almost getting careless and we're just kind of walking. And man, I walked like the past 20 seconds and wasn't even paying attention. So the hunger and the need to rest is starting to weigh on you, especially those of you who did not take a short rest.
I think we should try and sleep in this room if we can, if it seems safe. If we don't hear anything coming.
I'm for it.
Thoroughly check it out. I mean,
Let me
Of course.
investigate here and see.
I go in my pack and I pull out a little bit of the incense that I carry and I start putting it under my nose and offer it up to anyone else around me. Should they want?
I'm going to assist. I want to assist Barman in his investigation.
Okay, good to do. I will roll with I will roll. Yep, with that thing. Okay, so 17 instead of 6.
Looking about this room, you're fairly confident with the light and without the light that this room has not been disturbed in any way. That everything. Previously, you could tell that it was the place was dusty, but this just has the air of like abandonment, and there is just nothing has been down this way. Nothing has been here. You can't tell that any kind of creatures have done anything within this room. And as far as investigation goes, that there's pretty much nothing of use in here. Almost everything that you touch is either dry rotted, or brittle, or pretty much gone. If you go to any kind of barrel and attempt to move the barrels too much, they kind of crumble and just fall apart.
Okay, I will tell everybody. I say that we hole up in here for a little bit. I can keep the first watch. We can have the lamp ready to go if we need to light it. We can try and hang something in front of this entrance so that we could, if we had some form of light, it wouldn't show out too badly. But it seems like nothing's come back this way. We might as well.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Anya.
How big is the entrance?
It's pretty much the same way with the other one. It's about 20 feet. No, I'm sorry. It's about 10 feet. It's about 10 by 10 entrance, and it goes back about 25 feet.
Okay.
So it's about 10 by 25.
Okay. Well, while Barman continues to talk, I start digging in my pack.
Okay. You guys can make your way around to like the back side of the back corner, leaving most of this stuff intact. Some of the stuff that you guys pass through either disintegrates or just kind of falls and is just rotted. But you can make your way into the back and kind of brush or clear your way a good 10 by 10 area in which to camp, and you will have some amount of cover from the entrance. So
There are no other entrances or exits, or
no, this is purely just this seems to be like another one of these rooms, like a rest room. A rest?
but it doesn't go any further down.
No.
I'm good with that.
Are you talking about the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tunnel continues.
Oh well, that's okay.
Yeah. I'm
This
sorry.
is off the side of the tunnel.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The tunnel does continue on the same, almost like helix pattern downward.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out some of the ashen window linens that we had used to cover our tracks in the carts way back when.
Mhm.
And if we can hang these somewhere to give additional cover, we certainly can. I'm also gonna pull out the nut loaf that I have and break it apart to anyone who wants, just for
So-
a bit of a bite.
So while we're in this tug closet, are you going to bust a nut loaf real quick?
I believe it's already been busted.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
What?
Would you like a piece?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So he's busted a nut loaf, and we've hung a tug line, and
Now we're gonna all masturbate.
what else besides the loaf are we going to eat? I think we have some venison that won't last much longer. Is that right?
It's 2 more days on it, I believe, unless
Well,
this
yeah, but I gave all the rest of the venison that was left to Barman, so he should have 2.5 pounds of venison. This should be good for the rest of today and tomorrow.
Okay.
Nom
But-
nom.
So finishing off, you'll have one.
Are we gonna set a fire? Like venison's raw.
Are we carrying
smoke it
around
and
raw
everything.
venison? Or
No, that was a big haunch that you had cooked.
It was like salted, yeah, cooked in
It's
Yeah, I
salt.
thought we had cooked it all.
You
Oh,
cooked
okay.
it. Yeah. Because it was going to spoil if it didn't go into like a stew or something like that. But this was all cooked. It wasn't raw.
Okay. You still want to cut the outside of it off. It's like probably
Sure.
still not good to have
It's got a little pocket lint on it.
yeah, a little
Pi-
air crust.
A little pocket sand.
we can open the lantern a bit and just like run through slivers. Just heat it up.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Um,
Oh, I'll fill the lantern as well. So we're
So we're down one
a
pint.
good 6 hours.
And again, like I say, like while you guys are sleeping, I can watch in the dark, and so that's at least a couple hours without oil. But we can have the lamp ready to light if we need to.
That's
It'll
fair.
be disconcerting, but don't worry. I'll be watching over you. Everything will be okay.
And you think I'm the creepy one?
No reason to be worried.
I don't serve any dark gods.
sure you don't. I'll take last watch.
Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna take a rest and eat and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'd like the second to last watch, unless the judge really needs his rest.
No, I'm fine. I'll take the watch after Barman, I guess.
I'll just take first watch.
Barman's taking first. And...
That's
Did he?
right.
No.
No?
I'm
Sorry,
taking.
no.
I was gonna take first.
Okay. I'll take watch at some point. Someone wakes me
You're
up.
dead in the middle then.
Sounds
Literally.
great. Uh-huh.
Okay. So is everybody the barman? You're first.
Yes, that's me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
I'm going to shut my armor off and go to bed.
Okay.
This is not going to be great. I rolled a 14. It's not bad for me. That's actually really fucking good.
it gets a little weird. The absolute silence of nothing. So you get a little freaky, but
No,
passage of time gets a little strange. But the only sounds that you hear this entire time are your campmates, which shuffle around or move in the night. Other than that, there is not a sound.
Okay, dokie.
And you take a regular watch, or you take an extended one.
I'll take a regular one and then I'll wake
Okay.
up whoever's next.
Okay, who is next? Alright.
The judges.
Go ahead.
I get up and I'll speak to the judge, or to the judge. Speak to myself. Speak to
The
Barney.
royal we.
Did you have a
Any
good beginning of
sound,
the nap? Yes, I did have a
any
good
signs or anything?
Very quietly, there has been no sound. It has been very quiet, disconcertingly quiet. But quiet.
I'll post up near the entrance, I guess.
Okay.
I'm going to sleep very close to the judge so he can just kick me if he needs to.
And perception check.
Yep.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. Are you listening, or where's the light? The light is
The lights
way
back
back,
at the-
way back in the group. You're just kind of
Yeah.
up at the front.
I'm just listening.
Okay. For about most of your time, you hear nothing until you definitely, because it's so damn quiet, you can just hear something. You just hear. Then walk on by.
They visited the tug closet.
I keep still and I keep listening. If anything sounds like it's coming back, I'm ready to swing in its general direction and kick Barman at the time, but I don't wake him up yet.
Soon, right after that, the walking and the breathing that you heard, you do hear 3, 4, 5, maybe even more rats just in a pack, kind of just going up and down the pathway. Just
I hear rats.
yes.
Okay.
And they also just passed by. It was as if it was a pack of rats that just passed by.
I amuse myself and name each of the rats as they go by after different Mortulian nobles. One in specific.
Outside of that, your watch goes through.
Okay. I go wake up Hanoa,
Okay.
That's me.
and I tell her I posted up near the doorway, Barman to sleep over there. You can kind of kick him awake if you need to. But
Great idea.
couldn't see anything, but I could just listen. And
Okay.
then I'll go back to sleep.
Anything? Okay.
I heard some rats skitter by, but that was about it.
Oh, okay. Just rats then.
And did I think that first sound was one of the rats too?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, then I
No.
will mention I did hear
that was bipedal.
something walk by sniffing maybe,
Oh, great.
but it
okay.
seemed to pass on. So I don't know.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
I go take up the post standing next to Barman, I suppose. And it's a 13.
Your night goes by. And once again, it's an eeriness of the absolute silence of everything. Do you do anything else? Do you practice any?
I've practiced the forms that
You
I learned
practice
in
the
my
forms?
vision. I don't try
Okay.
to get up on one foot, but I do the hand motions.
Okay.
Okay.
They
Alright.
bring about. You're not sure what it is, but they bring about a sort of peace, a peace of mind. Sometimes when you're doing those things, the emptiness and the void is nice. and that you don't think, and you get the sense that maybe you're not. That sense sometimes where we always think that somebody's watching or something like that. That sense is kind of gone during that time.
It's nice.
But your
Quiet.
watch goes by uneventfully.
All right. I go. It was Anu next. I go poke her awake. Good. Barman's asleep over there. That's where the judge had posted up. That's where I posted up. Judge heard rats and maybe something come by and sniff, but I had a quiet time.
Okay.
Okay, good
Well,
night.
Good night. I'll post up close to where the front of the room is. Keep the lantern available should I need it, and just give
Okay.
me a listen. Perception. Oh, sorry, that was still
19,
on.
19's
Yeah,
fine.
it's 19.
The night goes by. The night you're not even sure. I mean, no idea what it is. About about the time when you're thinking about waking everybody else up, you're like, it's about time for everybody to get up. There is a low rumble which starts, and you start hearing this tone of like this. It's a low rumble, and you hear it first, and nobody else seems to notice. And it kind of gets louder. It seems to be coming out in the hallway at some point.
Crap.
And then it gets really, really deep. It kind of goes from the to a.
Gonna wake everyone up.
Okay, you kind of go and wake everybody up, and everybody like wakes up really suddenly and hears it, and then it gets to the point where it's such a rumbling that you can kind of see that there's dust falling from the ceiling, that some of the things are shaking, and some of the dry rotted stuff begins to like almost crumble, and then right when it gets to a point where you're like, this is getting really dangerous, and that everybody is shaking and having to hold their own, like hold the ground, it stops.
I hate caverns.
Does Mr. Barman, is that normal underground?
What just happened?
Cool.
Question. Did I get a long rest?
Everybody got a long rest.
Yay!
Officially, you are third level now.
If that's the case, could I please make a nature roll and see if that's anything that I know from the caverns?
You may.
I'm gonna prepare my spells real quick before shit hits the fan.
I rolled a 7. I'm still pretty new to this.
That is that sound is nothing of what you've heard before, and does not sound like anything like that in any time you've spent underground.
Where's the lantern at this point?
It's kind of in the back there. When the rumbling started getting really bad and it started shaking, you kind of picked up the lantern so it wasn't on the ground because the entire floor, ceilings, and walls were shaking.
I don't know.
The sound stopped and there's no sign of anything coming through. I'm going to start putting my armor on.
Okay.
I'll help him get it on.
It takes a village. We'll all help. I'm kidding. Whatever. I'm going to peek out in the hallway and see if I see anything.
Okay. The hallway appears to be just as it was before.
Peek back in and look to everybody else and be like, I don't see anything.
What?
I don't know. So, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know. Never mind.
Quick question: how much longer are we feeling to keep playing?
Depends on what you do.
Uh,
I get 10 minutes, if depending.
Go 10 minutes if we pick that route.
Who's holding the lantern?
Not me.
Not me.
I think it was just kind of sitting.
on the floor.
I don't think anyone has it.
He said someone specifically picked it up to keep it. So could someone call the ball on grabbing the lantern?
You're asking the question. Did you?
I'll grab the lantern.
I absolutely did not grab the lantern.
I'll grab it.
Okay, this is a very difficult thing to get as someone holding the damn lantern. Okay. So nothing. So. What was that? No idea. And it wasn't in the hall. Was that above us?
No, it definitely was not in the hall.
I believe it came from above us.
I walk out and look down the hallway.
Which way?
We were coming. This was the way I'm picturing this. This was on the right, right?
Yes. So you can look kind of look
Well,
up,
if I looked
or
left,
up or down. Down would be the way that you guys were heading. And
right. So I'm gonna look the way we were heading.
Yeah. Okay. Make a perception check.
A 9.
Well, your passive looking, you don't notice anything.
Right.
But you get a real weird smell that wasn't there before, and it smells like the ocean.
And the wind is still coming this way.
The wind is coming up from the down. Yes, the wind is coming this way. It does smell like the ocean.
And Barman, you were by because you just looked outside, so I'm probably closest to you.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually really fitting. Do you, Master Dwarf? Do you smell that? It smells like the sea. I mean, it's barely there, but that salt spray.
I don't know. Do I smell it?
Now that he mentions it, and now that you're sitting there thinking about it, yeah, you do.
The wind. That smell.
You know, the wind has always been like dry and hollow, but now it's got a little bit of moisture to it. It's got a little bit of air, like a little bit of salty moisture to it. Okay, I can't fucking say anything.
No, come on. The air has some salty moisture to it in the tug room.
In the tug room.
So, not Barman. Do you think this is? I mean, is this just an underground sea? I mean, are we moving towards an outlet, an inlet, aquifer, something? I mean, that's fresh water. It's not salt. I'd never.
It does.
You know you and your people know the sea and
Whoa.
What do you mean, your people?
Your people. Your people know the sea and the ground better
I know what you're saying.
I do. Does this make sense to you?
It seems like it's either maybe connects to some form
Also,
of...
why is it so damn bright in this hallway all of a sudden?
Is it?
Stroke?
I'm like, what are you talking about? Bright?
Is it Brighton? Oh, I see what you're saying. No,
I step into the hallway, and I step around the corner, headed down.
Okay.
And
he's walking off.
Just around the corner.
Okay.
I can't see you. Wait, where the fuck did you just go?
Yeah. I am...
Volker.
Barman can't see me anymore.
Volker. Guys, Folker
Shout over to Barman.
Folker
What?
just ceased to exist. He's gone.
Where'd he go?
He was a good friend, but I think we just have.
Like, what in the hell are you guys talking about?
So
Where-
And
The,
I walk back towards the entrance.
Okay.
So I'm in the lantern light again.
Oh, that's
the the hallway continued as it did before. How far did you walk by yourself?
It's just 10 feet.
Okay.
Just enough to be out of the light coming from the lantern coming through the doorway.
The just heading just even that 10 feet, the sense of ocean smell, it was even greater. Just that 10 feet. It's definitely coming from that direction.
from the down direction, correct?
Yes.
From the great below. Well, hell, I mean, we're going. I mean, this is something. Doesn't it ain't acid or weird chanting blue goblin creatures? I mean, this is as good a way to go as any, huh?
Just the smell of the sea underground and loud noises.
Well, the loud noises were above us. I mean,
Was it?
going
I
down,
was half
just getting
asleep.
away from it.
I don't like the loud noises. Let's go smell the sea.
I feel like
Agreed.
we've started to
Back
moving
up,
down this
and we'll head further down.
Okay. Gathering your stuff together.
We probably need to eat breakfast and
Yeah. In wanting to get going, it's almost one of these things you kind of pack up and you don't tarry. You kind of pack up some stuff and begin your march, and then kind of hand out some of the things that you have to eat while you're walking. And
What's the mark on that? What did we mark off for yesterday and this morning? Because I haven't marked anything off. We had
Yeah.
her nut loaf, and then did we?
yeah,
just
you
pass
finished
out?
you
Finish the venison.
finished the nut loaf, and you finished almost all the venison. You have a pound left.
I still have my 2 nut loaves.
You still have your nut loaf, yeah, because you used nut loaf, and you said you had 2.5 pounds of venison, and so now you're down to 1 pound of venison.
Is that for both meals then? Or is
For
that
what?
just for what we had before? Because if we ate before we crashed and then we're eating first thing, we're grabbing a bit. Is that both? Is that the sum of the amount for both of them, or is that just one?
Yes, that's everything. So
Okay. Okay, cool. Just making sure I don't have to mark anything off.
And what's the marching order going down, since now we have somebody that's using a different type of vision?
Yeah, I'm oddly comfortable now. I'm really, really oddly comfortable.
It just took
and
some
I
time
am-
for your eyes to adjust.
Yeah, it was literally, I just had to sit in the dark for a while. I thought that I was going to be last watch, and I thought that I was going to turn the lantern off, and I thought I was going to go through a moment of acclimation. Instead, I woke up and poofed. So I'm just going to take off. I'm going to be around 25 to 30 feet ahead of everyone.
I will probably now be the person at the back.
After 15 minutes of moving, Folker, you
but
do
it's still
notice.
need light, right?
Yeah, you have the lantern
Okay.
back with y'all. He does not have the. He's up ahead a little bit. After about 30 minutes of movement, Folker, I don't know if you want to stop yet, but there, the path kind of opens up to an enormous natural cavern, and you can see that there's a lot of appears that there's a lot of wet water has been splashed onto partially this path, but has also been splashed a number of different places. So there are large, huge, gigantic columns and large stalactites and stalagmites, which go throughout the entire landscape. But looking off into the darkness, like even your dark vision just kind of goes as far as you can see. You can see that there's a gigantic cavern. And ahead of you, off to your right, there is a pathway which continues off into the natural cavern, which does not have water near it. But towards your left, in these giant columns and everything, it appears that there's some sort of water, and this is the sense of the salty kind of smell in this.
Right. So this is really awkward because I'm not gonna be able to stop the group until they see me.
Right.
So I'll stop as soon as I see it, and then when they get within range to see me with the lantern light, they'll see me.
Okay. All right. So you guys come upon once the lantern starts hitting this area, the water itself is God, it's extremely clear, and then all these columns when the light hits it, the columns kind of iridesce in cream and purplish cream and some green, and maybe even shades of blue streak through these columns. This just doesn't appear to be rock. The rock is almost pearlescent in some sense. Make perception checks.
Everyone.
Everybody can make it. Yeah.
12.
9.
I rolled a 2.
9.
9.
I rolled a 5.
Great.
So you're standing kind of looking at this area when everybody notices instantly that like there is a small wave of water which comes forward and goes over everybody's ankle as if it was just pushed from where this water was, and then off to your left, boom, this gigantic tentacle lands on the side, and then boom, this gigantic tentacle lands on the other side, and then in between the two columns, this black and purplish orb of an eye. It's about 15 feet in diameter, with one on top and one below that, come up and push up against both of the columns, and then this mouth of teeth opens up. It's about 25 feet. It opens up, and then it speaks, and it says, "What are you bipedals doing here?"
Are y'all tugging?
And then that's where we're gonna end it.
But I feel like we chose the wrong direction in the choose your own adventure book.
We went to a part we just leveled, and then we went to a part that's higher level than us.
Everything's conning red.
Wow! All right then. Anyone have anything to say before I do a closing bit for our episode?
Shit.
Shit.
Matt called it.
Great. Can't wait to parse out throughout this week of what the fuck am I gonna say to that thing. All right, stream chat. Thank you so much for joining us. We have been the Rules of Attrition on Character Builder Radio. We appreciate all of you for stopping by and spending however much time you spent with us this evening, whether it was most of the time or even just a few minutes. It's just really great to have some people come check us out. Before we officially go, I'd like to give a thank you to Ben Sounds for some music, with additional music from Scott Buckley. I don't know if Ben actually used any of it tonight, but Scott Buckley at www.scottbuckley.com.au. I hope to see you next week. Good night.
Take care.